It's 206. XM 103. The show is back.
With that, we say good morning to Jim Breuer.
Good morning.
Nice and early. I like this.
Huh?
I like it.
I know.
So,
You know,
yes.
I saw Chelsea Handler during the World Series, and I didn't know it was her.
What do you
And
mean?
She was sitting. I got to my seats,
Yeah.
and then right in front of me was a cute woman.
Yeah.
And I was kind of look at her, and she looked right at me, and she went, "Hi, Jim."
Oh, wow.
And I thought, I was with my wife, and I went, "Wow,
This is nice.
cute woman, that's a cute little fan."
Right.
And then I swear to God, that's exactly what I thought. And then my wife turned to me. She's like, "You know that's Chelsea, right?" I went, "Who's Chelsea?" She went, "Chelsea Handler." I went, "Oh, shoot. Now I feel stupid."
Yeah.
Because I looked at her like I did one of those, yeah.
Yeah.
I know. You recognize me from something. But she looked really...
She's pretty sexy.
She was really cute. I didn't see her... It was freezing out, so I only saw her little baseball hat. And
Yeah.
she was really pretty.
She has nice tits.
I'm sure she does.
The only reason I say it like that.
Are they real?
She brags about it in the Chelsea Handler show that I finally saw on Netflix.
But on her Instagram, she shows them all the time.
I know, and she
All the
brags.
time.
She brags. She goes, "I know I have nice tits."
Are they real?
Yeah.
Yes, they're
They're
real,
lovely.
and they're lovely.
I was going in a cab yesterday. It's funny, passing like the Viacom building in the 40s, and all the Times Square is these giant video screens now. It's pretty amazing.
It's pretty cool.
Like ones that I haven't seen, and I Big Apple. So I just haven't seen some of these are massive, and they were showing Chelsea.
Yeah.
So I'm literally looking at a 70-foot fucking version of Chelsea Handler. It's just kind of promoting her.
Sure.
And she looked good that big.
Yeah, they're pretty much just
sexy.
taking over every side of a building now.
Yeah.
It's not even billboards. There's just the whole side of a building they're making into screens.
It's really weird where it's heading. Like I guess
wild.
everything is going to be a screen sooner or later.
I'm waiting for that technology for your home.
Yeah.
Imagine just taking one of your walls and making that your TV. What are we waiting for?
One of your walls, the other side will have cameras. Your other side will have cameras on it, so you could just flip that switch, and all of a sudden you have no wall. You're just looking outside because you have a camera.
Wow, that's nuts, so.
That's what's going to happen.
Is there private companies that can set up your wall as a TV?
Not yet, but I think they're getting there, and they're going to do it on planes, so you can see the outside. So it's like,
Come on.
yeah, eventually, sure,
That's crazy.
sure, if you want it.
That's nuts.
Yeah, I'm working on a
Man.
company that does that.
Are you?
I have a driver so far. That's all I did. I had a driver.
So I noticed on Twitter, a lot of people saw the first episode of OJ versus the People, or
The People versus O.J. Simpson.
People versus OJ Simpson, and some didn't like the first episode.
Sure.
I got to tell you got to hang in there.
It's great.
You've got to hang in there.
Documentary?
No. It's it's based
like
on
actors?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but it's very good, and it's all the behind the scenes stuff.
See,
I'm out.
why are
I
you
thought
out?
I thought I would be too.
Really?
Yes.
You're not a big fan of pop
No, I
culture
am, but
or
like
something.
once I
Not
know
that
what OJ looks like.
Well, it's
I lived it. I don't need to.
that's why it's so cool, because it brings you right back, and they're using some old footage. Like Tom Brokaw and Peter Jennings and some Larry King on the TVs in the background, and everyone watching like the Bronco chase.
Here's what I want to. Who gets the cash for all these shows?
well,
The actors.
sure, FX.
Sure.
So does Nicole Kidman's family get anything?
No. But then again, she.
That's a good question.
That's the part that bothers me.
They're not
Let's say someone in your family's murdered.
Jesus.
Now Hollywood's doing a show on it. Oh, this is a great story. Let's make it 10. Let's all make billions of dollars off this chick getting slayed.
Well, we talked about it yesterday. They don't even show Ron Goldman. This whole miniseries is barely about Ron Goldman, who was also murdered.
But it was
that
all.
day.
I tell you, Cuba Gooding's
part of
answer
Hollywood I
was
hate.
very interesting, though, and I think he was right. He said that they are not doing any backstories. He said they're only focusing on the trial and the events surrounding the trial. They're not doing Ron's private life. He said they thought that would have been
Still,
exploited.
but imagine Jimbo. Imagine your mother, someone getting slayed, and now Hollywood's making a show on it. You
Yeah.
don't think you're worth at least 50% of that money?
Yeah,
Because it's your life, and
I'm
now you
sure
got
I
to
would want
relive.
that.
You got to relive watching someone get slayed.
I just need to clarify one
Yeah,
thing.
please. This is what I want to know.
Nicole Kidman was not murdered.
Oh,
by
I didn't
O.J.
catch that
Simpson.
either. Jesus.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Nicole Brown
No, but I-
Simpson.
Nicole Brown's sister.
You don't even know the person's name.
He knows what the fuck I'm talking about. Don't make me come down there for you. I ain't a tough guy.
But you're like, they
The
need
super
respect.
across the way. You got it, punk.
None of us caught that.
No, you're fighting the cause for Nicole.
I just kept going on and on.
She has to fuck Tom Cruise. She deserves millions.
Say if you ran
All
into
of Ireland, all of Australia.
We've all heard the rumors about Tom Cruise.
Eric and I are texting back and forth. Do we say something? Do we
Yeah,
not
you
say
say
something?
why
Say
wouldn't you immediately?
something.
What's your question?
It's
Nicole
very
Kidman.
rare that we can throw Breuer under
She's
the
a
bus.
great actress.
And she's alive.
Why wouldn't they pay her? It's ridiculous. Fuck Hollywood.
Cuba Gooding Jr. plays OJ. He plays him very well. He was in here yesterday promoting it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, John Travolta's Robert Shapiro. When he first appears, it's a little strange. I'm not going to lie to you. But Jimmy said he likes, you
Love
now
him.
like his performance as Shapiro.
I love him. I love everyone in this, and I can't believe I do. For some reason it got me. Sometimes a series gets you, it doesn't get you. Knowing it's 10 episodes only helps because you can commit to something knowing I see the end. And I'm bummed that I'm actually on episode 6. I wish there was more.
Yeah.
I really love it.
Supposedly they're going to release more on the media site. So, yeah, I watched all 6. There's Travolta as Shapiro. It just brings you back, Breuer, because we all lived through
I
that.
don't give a shit. If I'm at,
Do you remember
if I'm at a red light,
Yeah.
some fucker put. Wow, dude. What year is that Lamborghini? It's a new one. I just got off this new series about fucking OJ slaying that chick and shit and made billions. That was my sister, you fuck. As Travolta flies away in his plane, fuck him.
Maybe they gave the family some money. Maybe.
Well, that's what I want to know.
Maybe
If
they're sharing in the profits.
If they did, I'd take it all back.
I doubt they did. Let's
I-
be
I-
honest. I doubt. It's a crime story.
Yeah.
And it's about mostly the attorneys and OJ and the trial. So I doubt it.
The lady that plays Marcia Clark, I should know her name by now. She's
Paulson,
wonderful.
Sarah Paulson's great.
Yeah, she's wonderful, and Darden is amazing, and the guy plays Johnny Cochran perfectly.
But don't forget that every story, like whether it's 9/11 or World War II or Vietnam, there's so many tragic stories that are made into movies. The fact that they're not exploiting and implying that Ron was fucking Nicole, like they're not getting seedy with it. They're legitimately, I think, trying to only stick with the trial.
Yeah.
I would love to have seen the behind. Believe the sleazier God, I would have been. Yeah.
You would have been all in with that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like it. Some of the people on Twitter didn't really dig the first episode. I would suggest you definitely, give it 2 episodes. And we're not getting any money from this. We just like this
Well, that's
one.
not starting. I'm like, oh shoot, maybe they're sponsoring.
No, we just like
They're
this
throwing
one.
them some cash.
No, I'm getting something. They're sending me a little something.
Yeah.
But I'm getting something from the
Getting a
family.
shirt?
From the family of the victims. They're paying me, actually. So that's odd.
I think the reason why I like it so much, it just brings you right back, because that whole thing was just nuts. It was everything. That trial was on TV every single moment of the day, remember?
One of my favorite comedy bits ever written. Do you know, and Jim knows Rick Chrome.
Oh yeah, I didn't know you were going there.
Rick Chrome he was a host at the Cellar for many years, and there's a piano there, and Rick is a great writer of musicals. He's really a talented dude.
Yeah.
But he sang a song about O.J. Simpson, and it was I Need My O.J., because the trial was obsessing all our life. It was so fucking great. I actually made him give me a cassette tape of it.
Really?
It's one of my favorite things anyone's ever done.
Is he still around?
Rick, yeah, I saw him the other night. He's teaching classes. He teaches one-on-one. He's really good. But I mean, it's I can't believe that's 20 years ago.
It's more. Well, yeah, even more, I guess, at this point. But yeah, we like it. Whatever.
And you know what? They're making the lawyers. This is what I like about it. All the lawyers are just guys doing their jobs. Like Marcia Clark's doing her job, and they're showing them as people. Like Johnny Cochran, I always hated, but then when you see him in this light, you're like, all right, he was just a lawyer who was a prosecutor and then became a defender, and he fought for black causes, and this is how he did this case. There was nothing hateable about it.
Who among the lawyers thought that O.J. was guilty, you think?
I'm sure Shapiro did. Can you remember he
Kardashian, definitely.
Kardashian must have.
What about
Anthony Bailey probably
Anthony
did.
Bailey
I'm sure
and
Dershowitz knew. I'm sure fucking
Cochran?
Johnny
I
Cochran.
think they all did.
They all know,
Well,
but
that's the question.
you
Yeah, I
have
think they
plausible
all did.
deniability to yourself. I'm sure it's your job.
Yeah.
And if you fuck around though, but if these guys have to do it. If you don't do it right, the judge will, you'll have, I guess, get sanctioned by the court or whatever. There's a problem, so you have to defend them well.
Someone hit us up on Twitter yesterday saying we should have pushed Cuba Gooding Jr. on whether OJ was guilty or not.
Why?
He decided not to answer the question on our show yesterday.
He didn't answer? What'd he say?
I don't. It was an answer about.
No, he said that in playing him, he didn't want to make that decision because
Right.
he wanted to keep all
Play it with
options
both
open.
motivations. He said.
Yeah, but I wanted to ask him as a human being. Do you think OJ was guilty? And he didn't really.
He sort of answered that. He said,
hinted, I guess, but
Yeah,
after spending 7 months working on it and seeing all the
I wonder if it's okay if you're black if you could admit that OJ was guilty. I guess that's where I was going with
Right.
that because this was such a black-white thing.
yeah.
I mean, you remember when the verdict was read, the black people were cheering. They showed this on TV.
I remember.
And the white people were really mad and destroying things.
We weren't destroyed. We weren't like when...
Huh?
That's the white people don't do
Not
that.
destroying things.
No,
Just
wait,
walk
wait, wait,
around.
they were
Just
pretty
walk
much-
around bummed out for a day.
They were pretty much. I didn't mean it like that. You're 100% right. I meant their reaction was just throwing stuff right away and just mad.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah, you're right. I understand the
Then we
implications
went right back
of
to
saying that.
helping.
Right.
I
This
mean-
is our rate.
I made it sound like we were turning over police cars and setting them on fire.
No.
Right. I meant that their reaction was just quick and
Yeah.
over the top. Like, what? Really? Fuck.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. I've never seen anything so polarizing. I've never seen a black and white split so down the middle. And people learned a lot about each other. People who thought they understood coworkers and thought they all knew how each other felt. And they were surprised to see, like, oh, my God, these black people are happy that he got off.
Yeah, pause this for a second. So there's a video online. We'll tweet it out. It's called "A Look Back at the O.J. Simpson Verdict." Different reactions from different people. They show one room where a whole bunch of black people are just holding each other's hands and
Right,
just
right.
waiting and hoping.
Right.
It's crazy.
But it became about something completely different.
Yeah, it wasn't about Nicole or
Right,
Ron
wasn't-
getting killed.
But I
Right.
mean, after seeing that trial, I mean, well, then there was the glove that didn't fit.
And Furman saying
Furman.
nigger. I mean, come on. He had that history. And in this, they're showing you that Darden didn't want to put him on.
Right.
Darden was smart. He's like, do not put him on. Do not put him on. And fucking Marsha Clark, so stupid Muppet hairdo, just bumbled through and put him on.
So just because I'm white, sorry, I should have. Just because I'm white,
You're right.
I saw that he was guilty as hell after seeing that trial. I
think
saw
black
through
people
some of the missteps of the prosecution, but in the end, I'm like, holy fuck, this guy did it.
Most black people saw that he did it too.
You think?
Yes. It was more about just the system and like
Right.
when he was all of a sudden acquitted and everyone knew he did it. It was almost like, do you see? Like, this is how it feels when the system sticks it in your ass. And it's that obvious.
Interesting.
Right.
You think definitely most people knew he was guilty, but didn't care.
Yeah, or
'Cause it's
just
more
kind of
about the
push it
system.
aside, or maybe even like you convince yourself sometimes. I'm guessing. I'm just going by the conversations I've had over. I mean, there was fucking screaming matches at the Cellar every night. We were all. It was fun. I mean, it was like a great, little mini trials. That's what it was.
Mini trial.
It always dissolved into your act stinks. I don't know how that would always happen.
They would attack your act.
Oh, of course.
That's hilarious.
We would always, but you talk about it and you hear enough of the same shit from enough of the same people, different people.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, it is about something different.
Let me see just a little bit of this with this video, and we'll tweet it out.
Please stand and face the jury. Mrs. Robinson.
Superior Court of California, County of Los Angeles. In the matter of the
Fingers
people of the
crossed,
state of California,
holding hands.
versus Orenthal James Simpson, case number BA097211. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Orenthal James Simpson, not guilty of
Wow.
Yeah, black people were going crazy,
They're
celebrating.
going nuts.
Just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They're going nuts. hands in the air, screaming, jumping up and down.
Look at the
should-
horses.
They scared the horses outside the courtroom.
Well, the horses didn't believe. You think he's not guilty? Even the horses fucking knew he was guilty.
We should edit some of Brewer's Mets videos in this.
La Familia! Wow.
Yeah, I get annoyed now even watching this, even though and the white faces being all sad. But I'll say this: I can't. I don't know what it's like to be black. But if I was black, seeing that fucking sad white look would have brought me great joy.
I think you nailed it.
Oh, those fucking disappointed faces. What's the matter, stupid? Now you know what it's like? That would have made me happy.
The room where it's black and white people is really interesting. The white people
Sure,
are
the
just
prosecutors are sad, the defendants are happy.
they're holding their faces and they can't believe it as black people around them are jumping up and down for joy.
I was mad at the time. I was like, what the fuck?
Couldn't believe it.
No.
They're shaking their heads.
Yeah. And people were shocked at the reaction.
When people went tough for marijuana laws.
Yeah. I'll never forget Bob Grant on the radio. And people, he was such a racist. Him say, Bob Grant going, they will never convict him. Bob Grant knew it.
He was fun, Bob Grant.
Marcia Clark's hairdo. Why do I harp on that? You feel bad for Fred Goldman and the daughter, though.
Yeah. She's just losing her mind in
Yeah.
the courtroom after the verdict was read. The Marcia Clark, when she changed her hairdo to try to look a little softer and sexier, and it barely worked.
Well, then they show you the beginning of when they were doing these like little tests and focus groups. And Marcia Clark, they just hated her.
They hated her.
Cochran was a very smooth, good lawyer.
Crazy. Anyway, I like the OJ thing.
Reaction just annoyed me all over again.
People versus OJ Simpson on FX.
Make it a little warmer in here. It's fucking
It's
cold there.
cold.
Yeah, blowing on my little nipples.
You getting old, Jimmy?
Yes, I am.
That's what happens when you get older.
It is.
You know.
It's like where's my sweater?
You always sit by the heater.
TMZ recently covered Nicole's death, probably because this miniseries was
just got
coming
word.
out. Let's say hi to Frank in the Bronx. Frank.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Oh, Frank.
I hope Dad's doing well.
Doing all right, buddy.
Good, good. I heard that TMZ just made an announcement that Nicole Kidman's dead, and Breuer started the rumor.
Nicole Kidman.
I mean, it's blowing up already. Outside, the paparazzi's going to be outside the studio, pal.
We just didn't pick up on that.
So,
God.
real quick, Jimmy, I used to date a girl, and we used to fool around a lot. Every time we were done, she'd sit there and follow my balls for like 2 hours. I'd say, why do you always do that? She goes, I really miss mine.
Wait, she would do what?
You didn't hit him?
She'd always play with my bellinis, my balls, at the end for 2 hours. And I'd say, why are you playing with them all the time? What's your infatuation with them?
Wait a minute. Why was she? Hold on. How come you were sitting there? Wait a minute. No. I'm a little lost.
I'm following this.
You
now.
were sitting there and she would play with.
We just finished doing it, right? And then for like 2 hours after, she was playing with my two boys, and I'd say,
why?
I've been dating you for 6 months. Why are you playing with these guys? She goes,
Why hurt you?
He goes, all right. Thank you, Frankie.
It was funny listening to him change the terms for the boy Bellinis. She was playing with my. But it's funny. He called his boys bald boys. I've read a lot of dirty reviews. There's ads.
Yeah.
And there's a website that reviews escorts and stuff. And a lot of time the guys use those terminology. Like, I laid back and she was playing with the boys.
The boys.
The balls, yeah. I usually don't like to call them balls sometimes. Yeah.
Hey, I haven't talked to Breuer since the Mets thing.
I just came back from the Mets camp.
I heard.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, you really like the Mets.
What, like
It's not even just that. It's baseball. I love baseball.
the fantasy camp you went to?
Yeah.
Mets fantasy camp?
So you get to play and everyone there's like, can we make a video together? I'm like, well, it's kind of got to like this guy. This guy's a cop, retired cop. He's like, I want to make a video, and I thought he would talk. He just stands there.
He's staring at the camera.
He's staring at me. He's just staring at the camera with his mug. He's like, you're gonna make me famous. Today was our
You're a
first
much
scrimmage
nicer
game.
person than I am to have done this, by the way.
Oh no, I loved it. You talking about the video or this in general?
These videos with these fans.
Right. The only one I really wanted to make was at the end of each day, which really
What are you doing? Start from
Here's
the
what you do.
beginning.
You show
Start
up.
from the beginning, yeah.
You show up. You got to like baseball.
A lot.
Play baseball.
Okay.
Because you play baseball.
Where's fantasy camp?
Port St. Lucie.
Okay.
A lot of teams have them.
Yeah.
So you show up. Most guys are 50s, 60s, 40s.
Oh, they just want to play baseball.
They just want to play baseball. You get a couple guys that are really quiet, and they're really there just to slay everyone. Like they play in their leagues. They're in the corner going, yeah, I can tell you right now, I'm going to lead this week in strikeouts. I'm going to strike out everyone, which is not hard to do because there's a couple like, there may be like a little guy a little off.
Okay.
He's just off, and he come here every year. And then there's 3 guys in a chair and a crane, and there's like 3 chicks. There was one. All right, so I'm getting ahead of myself.
How long is
so when you
fantasy
show
camp?
up, it's a week. You show up
A week.
and it's like you're a ball player. You show up in the actual locker room, and you share the locker room with ex-ball players. So next to me, if you're a Mets fan, I had Turk Wendell.
Okay.
Remember Turk Wendell?
Sure, I do. I remember Turk.
Guy had a shark tooth and all that jazz.
You know, Happy Turk must have been to get you. Fucking, I got Breuer. You know how fucking bummed out the other guys must have been?
Instead of the kid that's a
Fucking,
little off.
Bob Apodaca has a guy with one leg and a fucking sideways Cincinnati Reds hat.
That's right. It's a lot of
That's right.
And then right behind me is Dwight Gooden. And I'm leaving
Nice.
them. I'm leaving them alone because people are asking, and they're very patient. I gotta say, people would just come up there like, remember in 1999 you were pitching against Griffey, and it was June. Yeah, dude, I remember this. So what happens is they start telling me these cool stories. Like Gooden told me. He was so funny. He's going, man, he's got a lot of kids. He's like, I think he said he had 9 kids.
Holy shit!
If I remember, 9 and 5. I think he said 9. Nice.
About the average for those people. Athletes, I mean.
So,
How many different mothers?
but one of the coolest things, which is just funny, makes him human. And here's Dwight Gooden. I told him, you don't understand. When you pitched, it was like going to watch Tyson fight. People were counting the days. The stadium was always packed. So he said, the only time my kid ever sees me pitch is the old-timers game at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
He goes, so this year, I think my 10-year-old he wanted to start pitching. So we're in the yard, and I'm telling him, like, son, you want to lift your leg higher. And he looks at me and says, Dad, what do you know about pitching? and he goes, I don't believe this kid, Jim. I go, no, Dad used to pitch. You mean with the old farts at Yankee Stadium? Jesus. And he goes, no, Dad used to pitch. He doesn't realize who his father is. So now they start the first game. And the kid is, he's walking some people, whatever. So Doc he said, I'm losing my mind. Watch, I can tell by his mechanics. So I can't help it. I pull him aside. I'm like, listen, when you're doing this, you want your shoulder. He goes, Dad, the coach told me how to throw the ball. I think the coach knows what he's talking about. So, just the humanity of that. I was howling at that. And then we talked about how they used to fight because the Mets hated the rest of the league, and the league hated them. And Turk Wendell never drank, never smoked, did anything in his life. I thought he was ape shit nuts. Nothing. But he used to have this routine. When he'd get on the mound, he'd look at the outfield, and he'd give this weird stare at the outfield before he'd pitch the ball, and he'd wind his arm up. And I thought, this guy came up, he's like, what's the routine? Why would you stare at the thing? Is that like a superstitious thing? And he goes, no, I was just making sure the field was ready. He goes, one game I pitched and the field wasn't ready, and the center fielder yelled at me. So I always make sure the field is ready before I throw the ball. Because all these years you thought I was superstitious, staring at the outfield? No. So you're like, so you hang out with the guys, and then you pitch. Now you have games, and then the games lead to the 2 best teams, and then the 2 best teams play in the championship, and then my team made it to the championship, but we lost.
What other players are down there? From the
Gooden's a great one.
Gooden's a great one.
Of course, that's
Turk Wendell's a great one. I mean,
I love Turk Wendell. Edgardo Alfonso.
Yeah, another big one.
Any like
Felix Mian.
I was going to ask any real old timers.
John Stearns, Ron Swoboda.
What about Grody?
Oh my God.
Or Rusty Staub.
Grody wasn't there, and
I
heard some things
about Grody.
Jerry Grody.
What's the thing?
I'm just saying, like, he hasn't been there, and there's this weird silence where you're like, "Where's Jerry Grody?" Okay.
What's that about?
Never mind. I guess okay. I was dying to see Jerry Grody.
What did Grody do? What are you hearing?
I don't know.
What's the word on the street with Jerry Grody?
He wasn't a tremendous. He wasn't very engaging. Okay, let's just say that.
Right.
It wasn't very engaging.
Maybe
So
invite him back.
The camp wasn't his thing.
Okay.
From what I hear, like he would be.
Might punch the kid or something.
From what I hear, he'd be the game be playing because they're your coaches, and he'd be on the phone.
Yeah.
And just be gone the whole time. And they're like, Jerry, should we? Yeah. Make your own lineup.
Wow.
Yeah,
he didn't take it too seriously.
Yeah, you don't have to take it seriously. And that's another thing. They bust your... The best part of that was at nighttime, the dinners. Oh, do you remember... what was there? Remember Anthony Young?
I do
Butch
not.
Husky?
Butch Husky.
Sure.
Butch Husky.
Anthony Young.
Anthony Young was the guy who pitched like 24 straight games and lost. He like broke a record for.
Jeez, I don't remember.
But all his games
all.
he lost was like 2-0, 1-0.
Okay, Anthony Young, there he is. I sort of remember his face now that I'm looking at him.
All I'm gonna tell you, is I very uncomfortable in the shower with that guy. Very uncomfortable.
Wow.
You guys all shower together?
Very uncomfortable.
Yeah, stirred up a few feelings.
And I literally wait. That's frightening. That's frightening that women can handle something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Absolutely frightening.
So wait, the same players stay the whole week?
Same players stay the whole week, and usually by day 2, half the camp is gone because they can't. They're injured. They're done.
They leave. They don't just stay.
Well, they'll stay, but they're some
not
of them
participating
rip their
anymore.
Achilles. They pull their hamstrings.
They get really hurt.
You rip your rotator because these guys, like I haven't played baseball since junior high school, so I literally started training in October. I literally got a trainer, weights and all that jazz, and these guys show up and they're playing like they're in the World Series. They haven't sprinted, let alone jog to first base
in years.
In years, and by the second time they're doing it, they're being taken out by stretchers.
So wait a minute, where are you staying? You get in there. What time do you get in? What time do you get up every day? I wouldn't enjoy fantasy camp because
no, you would. Well, every day you got to be there by 8:00. It opens up at 7.
Wait, you got to be there. You have breakfast at 7. What the fuck?
7:15, like 8:15. There's team meetings at 8:30.
Team meetings.
10 o'clock. You're playing your first game. And then there's a lunch, and then the afternoon is your second game. And there's double headers all week, and then the end you play the campers. There's a story. Remember Hojo?
Sure.
So there's this guy, this is a camper, has been going there 12 years, strikes out Hojo. Struck him out. So all the Mets are just railing him. You fair, you struck out to a camper, blah, blah, blah. This guy's a great pitcher right there.
Okay.
Who's that guy?
Is he just?
He was on my team.
Is he a fantasy guy?
Yeah, he was on my team, that guy.
All right.
Oh.
So Hojo waits a whole year, and he wasn't going to come to camp. He comes to camp because he realized this guy was coming back.
Yeah.
He waited the whole year just so he could face that pitcher again. And the first pitch he hit over the center field wall. So he could, that's how pissed he was from striking out a year before from one of the campers.
But how old is Hojo at this point?
You know what? He's like maybe my size. There was an '86 Mets reunion, and I saw him. I don't know. He's like in his maybe late 50s, 60s.
Yeah. Okay, that's funny.
So you're up and you're playing. The camp goes until what time? What time is the game over?
You're pretty much done at 3, 4 o'clock, and then you get ready for dinner, and they have banquets at night.
Oh, okay. So
it's a lot of ball busting. They have a night where they call the Kangaroo Court. And basically what they've been doing, they have people on every field watching what you're doing and videotaping. So, and then they call you out in front of everyone.
That's great.
And that was hilarious.
That's funny.
I think the name for the segment would be Just Joshin'.
And so that's the deal. And then you
got to really love baseball.
You got to love baseball. And if you like the Mets or whatever team you like, it's pretty freaking. I loved it. I have been, I won't say traumatized, but when I was in junior high, there was a couple kids that sprouted a lot quicker than me, and in high school, and I didn't make the team, and I was afraid. I made the team, but I didn't make first string, and I was afraid of the ball. So when I played first base and when it bounced, I would turn my head.
Yes.
I was petrified of the ball, and I was also petrified of fast pitching.
Yeah, me too. How fast did he pitch? That was the first question I would always ask when the pitcher was out there.
I think the fastest pitch was in the 60s, maybe 70s. That was the championship pitcher. This guy, I wanted his birth certificate checked because you have to be 30. But he was throwing heat and curveballs and all this.
Wow.
But everyone else is like 50. It's it's like playing wiffle ball with a hard ball. Right. I mean, the guy in the mound is 60 years old trying to strike me out. I'm drilling the ball. It's awesome.
Do they move the bases in, or is it?
No. You're playing. Let me tell you something.
Playing on a major league field.
You hit a ground ball, and it takes 20 minutes to get to first.
Oh, fuck.
How about the mound? The mound is proper length?
It's yeah. I wanted to pitch, but my arm was demolished before I even showed up.
Yeah, I would have no shot at pitching.
I loved it, though, man. I freaking
Are you going to go every year?
Oh, hell yeah.
How many guys in the outfield?
It's regular baseball.
It's regulation? I thought
Three
maybe
guys.
10 guys out there.
No.
How many are at the fantasy camp?
It's probably about 100. It's probably 100. It's
in
maybe
the locker room at the
12, 13. Yeah.
And do the outfielders move way in?
For certain players, yeah.
Way the fuck
way in for certain players. But there was...
And everyone's getting nude in the showers?
Not everyone.
Well, you have to shower.
I would fucking go. I'd wait till I get back to the hotel. Fuck that.
One day I took a shower in there,
feel like
and I'm still traumatized.
I don't feel like pulling my hog out in front of others.
Just showering?
And then you got Anthony Young with his big giant.
Holy
dick.
crow! That thing was. I thought I was going to call a reptile service. I thought something escaped.
Yeah, just showers.
I could do it. But I mean, if I have a little downtime, I'd go back to the hotel probably.
99 point. That's what I did.
Yeah,
I would do that.
Just but to relax a little more.
But they got me good.
Take a bath.
There was
soak
a night.
A little bit.
Wow. Light some candles and
I like baths.
Read a book.
I have no problem admitting I like a nice bath, a nice soak.
That makes me feel less gay about the things I do.
The hotter, the better, and I'll just... Especially if you're at fantasy camp, you're going to want to soak out some of those injuries.
Yeah, absolutely. And I tell you what, there was a night when we go out, and everyone hangs out. The ball players hang out with the campers, and you're drinking and hanging out.
That's probably part of it too. Though, like you can't just leave and go to the hotel.
God.
You got to be a part of it. So the players don't just fucking leave the fantasy campers by themselves.
Any ex-players have a bit of a problem at the bar? Or you're like,
no,
I can honestly doing shots with everybody.
No, I can honestly say no. However, ball players, even ex-ball players.
Yeah.
I saw Butch Husky there and Anthony Young.
Sure.
First of all, they're like 6'7". They walk in a bar, and it's literally like lions walking in the Serengeti, just staring at the wounded impala and just waiting to snag them up by the neck as they pull them away, and their little paws are just trying to escape. They literally just making signal, and it just. They walk in, they size up the room, and they zone in, and boom.
Did any of the 86 players break out 8 balls?
No, I will say Dwight was in bed early every night.
They loved their Coke back then.
I went to a
team loved.
Yeah, they were very naughty.
I went to the 86th reunion. They had something on Long Island.
Nice.
Out of all the guys there,
oh no,
Darryl Strawberry.
Yeah, Sue Wild Strawberry. Yeah.
Dude, that's gonna be 30 years.
I'm trying to remember the guy.
That's gonna be 30 years.
It is 30 years.
Well, yeah, later on.
No, Kevin Elster.
Kevin Elster.
Kevin
I haven't thought of it.
Elster was He was so funny because they're just trying. He's sitting next to Strawberry and Kevin Mitchell.
Sure.
And you can tell, like, Strawberry's, he's sober now and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Kevin Elster's sitting there smoking a cigarette indoors, hammered, just telling all the stories this guy would bring in 7 whores, we're doing lines. Let me tell you something, one time, and they're all trying to shush him. He was great. He was great.
It's like, shut the fuck up.
Kevin Elster was hilarious.
That's great.
And they're all into, like, they don't mind taking pictures or you're hanging out with. That's kind of fun, man. If you're a huge fan.
Well, if you're a big fan of the Mets.
The 7 a.m. thing would stink, but.
Sounds great.
But any team, I think the Red Sox have it, the Yankees have it, but I hear the Yankees aren't engaging. That's what I heard. You go there, but they're not having the banquets at night. But I don't know that for a fact.
Oh,
I just know there's some guys who are at the camp that've been to every camp.
Really?
How long did it take you to get over the loss, the World Series loss?
I got over right away.
I was thinking about you, and then you got to. Now, it's got to be exhausting because now you got to start all over again.
I'm ready.
As a fan. Holy
I'm ready.
Fuck, you're this close.
Dude, I try to explain to you how exciting this team is.
I know. I started watching near the end. I'll watch more games this year because of you.
The 4 Horsemen. The 4 Horsemen. Kicking Metallica, Harvey DeGrom, Mats Syndergaard. And then you got the 5th Horseman waiting, galloping in the wings in Wheeler. This is a hot team. And I tell you what.
Give me that speech. I'll definitely be watching more this year.
I tell you what, the Yankees are hot too.
Yeah.
Yankees are silent, but they're frightening. They're silent and frightening.
I want to go to a game this year. I keep saying I'm going to, but I want to see the new Yankee Stadium. I want to go and
you haven't gone yet.
Root for my team.
You hate sports, right? No, you're a football guy. You like the Cowboys.
Yeah, but I don't really watch it. I don't really watch baseball anymore. But I would go. I mean, I do want to go. I've heard the stadium's great, and I want to go with
it's
someone
awesome.
to a game.
The stadium.
I want to bring you to a Mecca. I want you to see this
game, City Field. Yeah,
I want you to see the Syndergaard and Harvey pitch.
I would go.
Hey, this all started with that video. Now, can we see the video?
What video?
Where you were making videos every day at fantasy camp.
The last one was the
where you were cheering.
I want the one where the guy wanted to make the video and didn't say anything.
Yeah, that was Bob, ex-cop.
Let's see Bob's video.
There's 3 of them, and I people are like, give us updates.
Right.
Like, all right.
Actually, before we get to that, I'm sorry. We found a different OJ reaction video.
What do you mean?
There's
really?
a different, yeah, it might be worth playing.
All right, let me see this.
Okay, hold on. Wait a minute.
What?
So that's one of the reactions.
They put Breuer in the middle of he's cheering OJ's equipment. See that, Jim? They're making it look like you're acquitting the murderer. You're cheering the acquittal of the murderer.
I've been framed.
That's pretty good, man. All right, we'll tweet that out.
I'll tell you what, man, those crazy videos.
Yeah.
People showing up at all the shows with Met hats and
dude,
I did Washington.
I hope to God it will torture you to madness.
I will ride that wave, Jimbo.
Yeah, you should, man. You're getting 1 million views of video.
They were
freaking.
They were fucking viral. These damn things, one after another.
It was nuts
on your Facebook.
It was nuts.
Let me hear this from Fantasy Camp.
This is when we just lost.
Everyone says this is the greatest team ever, right here.
Look at my arm.
What, baby?
Oh. It looks like Jim stopped at a hospital and gave everybody Met uniforms.
Is that it?
No, it goes on. And I'll show you the picture that beat us.
Do you travel with your uniforms, or are they waiting for you when you get there?
No, it's all there.
Oh,
it's all there.
Sizes and all that.
Yeah. They get your sizes show up. They hang up everything. And
I like my T-shirt washed before I wear it, though. I don't like to wear an unwashed T-shirt.
They'll wash it for you.
I appreciate that.
They wash it every
I have
day.
very
for
gentle
you.
skin.
You would like the training room.
Why?
You go in there, pretend you got an injury, and you got males and you got females, you got males,
and they rub you out.
and whatever you need in there.
Down.
Whatever you need in there. They got
pretty?
everything. Yeah.
Nice. What if you pull your groin?
They got to help pull it back.
They'll probably stick fucking, some guy. Oh, that's Henry Oakes. It's some guy with a weird OCHS name. He's 68. Been with the team since 52. Fucking puts 2 fingers in your asshole and it's totally non-sexual and he's comfortable doing it. He's one of those guys that could just massage a man anywhere and feel nothing. Because those guys, those sports, those team doctors, they don't give a fuck. I mean, all they do is massage men and they're used to it.
Yeah, they'll rub anything out for you.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
I think some of the campers, too, were just like, look, they got if I heard this one more time, they got a hot tub in there, and they got a cold tub, too. You're going to do the hot tub. I just can't do hot tubs with, like, grown men. It's just, I don't.
I wouldn't mind in a sporting. Normally I wouldn't, but with a buddy I could. I can sit in a hot tub.
No, I can. It's late at night in Colorado.
Yeah, a little man-to-man comparing.
You're at fantasy camp. You guys should all be bonding in the hot tub.
Yeah, some of them nuts are hanging really low. They're hanging on top of the water.
Let me see the rest of this video.
Watching us, Jimmy.
That's right.
We have no shame.
That's right. He's trying to keep our spirits up. See, we got a little chick on the team.
Let's go. We got Let's go.
All right, now I'm going to show you the other team who won. And there's this one pitcher. He's like in his 30s. This guy's throwing rockets. It's a pain in the ass. This guy was a pain in the ass. But look at the age, like this is, you see the ages? These aren't kids you're losing against.
No kidding.
So if you think you can't hit or whatever, this guy, I want his birth certificate. Right there.
Wow, he looks like a younger kid. He doesn't look 30.
Yeah, very suspect. Very suspect.
He was throwing hard, huh?
He was throwing hard. Even, it's sad when you see, and some of the guys on our team were a little like, dude, that ain't right. We had a chick on our team, a mom.
Sorry.
That's all right. She's maybe 5'3".
Okay.
And she's probably, in her mid-50s, and he's just throwing heat. I think one of them decked her. She had a deck out of and our guy's like, come on, man, seriously, you trying to strike the chick out? She has a pinch runner every time up.
Does she?
We just told she'd walk every time. She made contact every time. And
were you bummed when you got the chick?
No, everyone. No, not at all.
Every
Matter
team
of fact, she was huge on our team. She got to walk almost every time or a hit. Because everyone play in, and then she had a pinch runner.
Yeah.
So we put a fast guy in.
All right, fair enough.
But look at him, Mark. He's actually come to see me in Maryland.
Was he taking it easy on her when he pitched?
No!
That's great.
And you can tell he pitches in a league. He's got the whole, the guy on the Dodgers, that lefty.
Oh, God. Hideki Matsui.
But yeah, the kid's a monster. He's a monster.
Play the rest of this.
And he also hit it to the fence. We didn't win, but that's right. We played good.
Man, Breuer really likes doing this.
I love it.
Is this your first time?
Obvious.
Huh?
First time?
Yeah.
What do you do if there's a rain out? If it's a rainy week?
We had a rain out. We had to play 2 triple headers.
Triple headers?
The second triple header, I pulled my oblique. I pulled a groin. My hand was killing me from hitting a ball. It was a mess.
How many games you end up playing in a week?
You usually play about 10. I think we only played 6. We played 2 days with triple headers. Because we had the blizzard. The blizzard knocked out 2-3 days, and then rain knocked out 2 days.
What do you do during the day? Meaning when there's no game.
Go see movies and stuff, or hang out with the players will call you like, hey, man, you want to go somewhere?
Hi, Doc, you want to get some popcorn? Oh, the fucking players must hate that. Everyone's knocking on their door. Doc, you want to go down for pancakes?
Let's play ping pong.
Yeah. Come on down. Give me some tips.
So you had a shitty week of weather.
Yeah, but I didn't care.
Didn't matter.
I didn't care.
That's how much Breuer loves the Mets.
I don't care. I listen, I got 3 kids. I got a lot of work stuff coming. This was a nice
break in the action.
Nice break. I was away from the snow. It was awesome.
All right.
And then when it's over, I think they all play at Citi Field sometime. The whole team does a reunion at Citi Field.
Really?
Yeah. You play at the Mets Stadium there.
When?
I don't know yet. Probably in July or August.
All the teams play? Is the actual, the 80,000 people who came disappointed it's not the real Mets?
Hey,
wow.
This ain't no Matt Harvey.
What the fuck?
Who's that old guy? Why's there a chick on the team? Why? What's going on here?
All right, we should take a break so we can eat some food. Jim Brewer's here. We couldn't be happier. Brewer, what are you promoting? I know you got that album coming out soon, man.
I just
We're all looking
listened.
forward
I just
to it.
listened to the whole thing.
Happy?
Yeah, I'm very happy.
Good.
And then the Paramount. I'm filming
the Paramount again.
I'm doing 3 shows.
Holy shit! That
Friday.
Yeah, February 13th and 14th.
Yeah,
So it's
and
next
then,
week.
Right, and then there's Boston this Friday.
Wilbur Theater. And then Saturday, the Saturday Count Basie Theater in Red Bank, New Jersey. Nice. That's local.
Yeah, I don't think there's tickets for that. I think there's a few tickets for, like, scattered tickets for the Paramount, but I'm shooting my video for the first single at the Paramount at the end of each one of my sets.
Oh, wow.
So if you come into all 3 shows on February 13th, at the end of it, if you want to be in the music video, I literally finish my set, the band comes out, we play the song.
That's cool.
And then we'll be shooting the end of that video, what the video will look like towards the end.
Man, you're taking this very seriously.
I did.
I love it.
I'm coming out swinging.
I love it.
I'm coming out swinging. I can't half-ass this.
It's going to be released possibly in late April, right? Your metal record.
Looking at probably end of May.
End of May.
That's what they're saying now.
Okay.
Well, I will be at the in Kentucky tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, and then I start my tour in Chicago, Michigan, and Milwaukee the week after.
Yes.
So,
Oh, Jimmy's playing the Royal Oak Music Theater. You've been there, right?
I've never been to.
That is a great venue.
Oh, good.
Great crowd. I love the Royal Oak.
And I'll be shooting. I don't play heavy metal. I do have an accordion, and I've been playing that in the middle of my act.
Nice.
Not an old musical man.
I'm doing that Louisville one too. I just did. I think I'm just doing one night though. Maybe
That's I can't. I mean, I hear it's a great room, this Laughing Derby, but I'm so happy it's my last club for a while. The club schedule is fucking. Even though you travel,
Club
every
is
day,
hard.
Club, you're doing multiple shows. You're in the same place. You got to kill time. Fucking theaters, you do one
and out.
You either drive at night. I'll drive 4 or 5 hours
Me
a night.
too.
Get there, sleep.
Yep.
Wake up. Me and Kenny make love. We eat lunch.
There you go.
Me
Perfect schedule.
I agree. When you're at Wilbur.
I'm at Wilbur. I got 2 shows. One is sold out and one is not. February 19th.
I don't sell as well as you in Boston. I only got 1 show. I'm still trying to get tickets. Look at you, 2 shows.
I'm sure you could have done more if you wanted to. I should have done another one. I do one at the Paramount. It's sold out. I should have done more than one, but
Paramount.
I don't think I could.
That's a
I'm
great
only doing it
venue.
because Breuer suggested it.
It's awesome.
I'm doing 3.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I did a 5:30 show. I said, screw it. Yeah, it's at a 5:30
Why not
show.
split them on different nights?
I didn't want to work on Valentine's Day. Okay. So then after the 3rd show we added, then they said, how about another one now on Valentine's Day? And I went, they wanted to do 2, and I'm like, relax, let's see how the first one goes. So yeah, I'm up to 4 shows.
So you might have 5.
Oh, you are doing 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
smart.
2 days.
Okay, smart.
3 one day, 1
3
on
Friday,
Valentine's
1 Saturday.
Day.
I got you. And Wilbur
Actually,
Theater.
3 Saturday, 1 Sunday.
Oh, okay. 3 Saturday, 1 Sunday.
Because Monday's a holiday, I think.
5:30.
Yeah,
show.
President's Day or something, right? All right, Jim Brewer's here. Wilbur Theater this Friday for Brewer up there in Boston. We got Stone Cold Steve Austin coming in today.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Zach Wilde.
Yes. I wonder if he'll. I wonder if he'll talk about the sketch show we did.
All right,
sure he will.
We did a sketch show. He was at a different time in his life.
Yeah.
I think I told you that story where he came into we met at Shun Lee in New York City, and he was getting hammered, and the Asians were scared for their lives. They'd come over shaking, bringing over the chow mein. They didn't know if they were going to get eaten or kidnapped. He had the big bandana, like the big American flag around his hat. And he's talking everything. He's like, fuck it, this is what we gotta fucking do. Like, gosh, easy.
Yeah, Zach's not a good whisperer.
Easy hammer. And this is, and then we filmed a sketch show, and I forgot the name of it. He showed up like an hour and a half late, stumbles out of his truck with Heineken's falling out. He grabbed his his manager with a big chain, like a big bike chain wrapped around his neck, started choking him. I swear to God, he was like letting out a fucking gorilla. And he's going, "This is the kind of sketches we're gonna do, Jimmy." And I swear to God, the guy's tapping his fucking legs. And I'm like, "Zach, it's okay. Let go of him, man. I get it. I get what we're doing." And then he ended up just like, "Get in the car." We got in the car. We went to a strip club, and we couldn't escape. We stuck there. I'm like, "What the fuck
You're stuck with Zach Wild.
What am I doing?
He's holding you hostage for the day.
What are we doing?" So, yeah, he was.
The sketches weren't that great in the end.
The ideas were great.
Yeah.
The whole concept was a great idea, but I think if he was sober, we would have done a lot better. Yeah, would have done a lot better.
And we got Judd Apatow coming in shortly, I think.
Yes, his new at 9 o'clock. His new series on Netflix is called Love. I saw the first 2 episodes. I definitely liked it. So we'll talk to Judd as well. All right, stay there.
But they've been running the media for a long time, and I tell them right to their faces. Oh, sorry.
One of my favorite people in studio today,
Thanks,
Jim
dude.
fucking Breuer. Of course, Jimmy as well. We don't get to see Breuer a lot.
We do not know. What's the name of the song you're doing, if you not say?
Which one? Let's call Old School.
Old School?
We heard Old School.
I think it's one of my favorite. Basically, all I did was reference every title from every band I loved growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Megadeth, Black Sabbath, Ozzy, Zeppelin, Priest, Maiden, Metallica, Accept, Scorpions, Crew.
This project's going to surprise a lot of people.
I don't know.
We heard Old School. It's amazing. And then I heard, I guess you talked about
I think
you
I
talked
only
about
let you
Brian
hear
Johnson.
I talked about it, but I don't think you heard it.
I think I heard it. All right, and he's got Brian Johnson on his album. I guess if you're standing, we're all standing. Jesus, Breuer.
I just want to stand. That's all.
All right.
I feel like I hit a couple dribblers my first hour.
No, I want to.
I'm addicted to home runs.
No, that was fun.
I'm addicted.
Anthony Young. Anthony Young's dick. That's your home run. Exactly. You could have used his dick to hit the home run.
I think the Nicole Kidman accident was also a good one.
That was an inside the park homer, though. I'm obsessed with the George Washington Bridge, and I got to tell you why. People are fucking jumping from this thing all the time, and the city's trying to keep it quiet. And we had 2 yesterday. 2? And the only reason I bring this up, because it's so fucking weird. They had divers in the water, the Hudson River, yesterday, looking for someone that jumped earlier in the day.
Why?
And as they were looking for the one body, a woman jumped while the divers were in the water yesterday.
Oh, my God.
That's how the story goes, right, Eric?
That's what it is.
Isn't it crazy? And how many bodies this year already?
Oh, let me see.
I mean, it's only been a month, but...
Well, let's see in the last year.
In the last year. And the city keeps this shit quiet.
Well, same with San Francisco. The Golden Gate. They don't tell you.
But everyone knows about the Golden Gate at this point, that a lot of people jump from there, but they don't know that it's happening right in our backyard. It happens a lot. 12?
That was in the first half of last year. There were 12. So
they're doing about one a month.
25 a year.
I mean, two a month. About 2 a month.
Every 3.5 days.
That's what they're saying?
Yep.
Every 3.5 days, someone's jumping from that bridge, and the city keeps it fucking quiet.
Well, it's budget cuts
because they don't want to put up that big fence because it's beautiful when you're up there.
And that's what they just don't want to put up.
No, it's beautiful, and the guardrail's really low. It's kind of creepy. It's very easy to jump off that fucking.
Let me tell you something. I was in San Fran a couple months ago.
There's Zach Wild.
Oh boy, I was in San Fran. I don't know, springtime, summer. That was the first time I ran a bike, and I went right across the thing. I was petrified that if I hit. Yeah. It's small.
It's
small
narrow.
lane. It's very narrow. If I hit something, I'm going over the rail. It's very easy to go over that railing.
Yes.
Especially on a bike.
Yes.
And the guy that opens for me, I'm sitting there and we're riding back because I was scared to death. So I'm just got my head down. I'm pedaling. And then when I reached the end of the turn, he was gone. He apparently hit someone and went head over and tried calling his hand. His arm was mangled.
He got fucked up riding a bike over the Golden Gate Bridge?
Fucked up, and it looked like a cartoon hand. Like, so You know, like when McGilly Gorilla would blow on his thumb and blow the thing up. And all I remember is we were walking around Little Italy, and I kept looking. I was too lazy. I didn't want to go to the hospital and do that whole process.
Of course.
It kept coming. You think it's broke? I'm like, nah, it's fine. It's fine. It's all black and blue.
You don't want to waste 6 hours when you could be checking out San Francisco.
Yeah, come on, man. Step up.
I try to take my my inline skates. Some call them rollerblades across the Golden Gate Bridge when we were off the air. I was out there, and I wasn't allowed to because the bike groups are
Oh, they're aggressive and mean.
You know, they're politically connected, and they actually told me I'm not allowed to do that because the bike groups bought the bike lane.
Oh, wow.
So, and they don't want any fucking rollerbladers or inline skaters, whatever the fuck.
The bike groups are obnoxious.
They literally told me I wasn't allowed to do it. I'm like, that's funny. And I started going, like, who are you? And they're like, no, we're dead serious.
Yeah.
We pay for these lanes, and we don't want anybody except bikers on them.
So how'd they stop you? Like, how did
They just physically stop.
This is literally when we were off the air, so 11, 12 years ago. I sort of remember that, okay, they're serious, and I just did not do
off.
it. Yeah. But at first, I'm like, oh, that's funny, and because I thought someone was just fucking with me.
Right.
And then, no, it was obvious. And supposedly they're very political with their groups and all that.
Out there they are, yeah.
Well, I mean, with the bikers,
Yeah,
though. You would never think that.
No, they're not so out there.
They're crazy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Like, I'm scared to death, and they're just flying by me. Left on your left!
Right. But, yeah, you don't understand the protocol.
Yeah, all right. I'm
Exactly.
sorry.
How
Right?
about a stick in your spokes? What do you think of them apples? Watch your fucking jaw skid the next 40 yards.
And Brewer's just riding a bike, just trying to check out the scenery, and these
all I
guys
wanted.
want to knock you over.
Why don't you put the seat back on that thing?
You do Alcatraz?
No.
Nah, I did it
Oh,
once.
you
did it once.
though. Okay.
You know,
I
get it.
I did it twice. I fucking loved it.
I loved it. Made me think more of the Clint Eastwood movie. Like, did they die?
Yeah.
They had to die.
They died.
You know why? Because that water's so cold. Your body would never endure
Well,
it.
it's like English said, and the water's so cold it will numb your arm in a matter of minutes. Remember the movie? And he was telling him?
You're right. There's no way.
I love the spoon. He goes, guard, can I get another one? This one looks like it's been digging in some guy's ass. Or sticking in some guy's ass. Remember when he needed the second spoon?
That was I gotta watch that movie again. That was a great movie.
I love it. They show Clint Eastwood's cheeks in the beginning. When he gets there and he's walking through the jail. Wolf wanted to get friendly. I didn't. Remember fucking Wolf? I'm looking for a new punk.
How were the cheeks?
Amazing. They were
cheeks were amazing.
Yeah.
Good Clint Eastwood cheeks.
Yeah.
I love Wolf.
But
I gotta watch it again. I don't remember a lot of it.
Wolf wanted to get friendly. I didn't. Remember that? And he fucking, Wolf tries to fuck him in the shower. And Clint Eastwood beats him up.
It's amazing
I
how
vaguely remember that.
I haven't seen this.
It's amazing how many movie lines Jim Norton knows. It's crazy.
Yes, but when it comes to intimacy, I strike out every time. But swing and a miss.
But Jim
we were just talking about you yesterday after the show about you and your movie lines. It's nuts. It's nuts how many you know.
But like he'll talk about movies like Goodfellas, and it's like, all right, everyone sees Goodfellas. But then the other
I haven't
day,
seen that.
But it's
never.
No.
But then like,
But it's a movie that we reference out of nowhere, and he's
Right.
got 5 or 6 fucking lines from the movie.
But then he referenced Carbon Copy the
That's
other
what I
day
mean.
with,
I love
that
with
movie.
Denzel and
George Segal, yeah.
and I have not heard anyone mention that movie in like 40 years.
And not only is it mentioned, he knows some lines. From
I
it.
know, genius.
It was a good movie, by the way.
was a good
I think it was before Denzel got his teeth fixed. I like when he was really young.
Yeah.
He's like a young, hungry actor. He's great.
All right.
I watched a lot of movie channels growing up, as we all did. I'm sure.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, but we don't remember all the fucking lines from every single movie.
Yeah, it's like what was it? You know, Frank Whaley.
Yeah.
He was in
He was in The Doors.
Pulp Fiction. No,
Yeah.
he's an actor. He wasn't in The Doors.
No, he was.
Oh, in the movie. But he was the guy. He was one of the guys in Pulp Fiction. He was in Swimming with Sharks. But in Swimming with Sharks, there's a line where he's like, "Yeah, I always associated things in my life with movies. Like I remember what I was doing when I saw it, and I guess that's kind of I was always like that.
Gotcha.
But when it came to real interactions, I'm no.
Then it's
But back to you
then it's a little different. You had the GWB story up there.
This is
again.
a different story from last year, from last March, where 2 people jumped within seconds of each other, totally unrelated, about 70 yards apart.
Oh, that's nice.
The only reason I bring this up, they're trying to fucking keep this extremely quiet. It's happening all the fucking time.
Yeah, but do you talk about it and then more dummies come and do it? Or now people are sitting there waiting for it to happen, like they're having coffee, like, should be any minute now. So, oh, this looks like a suspect. Jump, stupid!
Let's see if the numbers have gone up since we talked about it.
Anyone above 150th Street dabbing the rise with a hanky, and you're like, let's go.
You ever go across the bridge? Beautiful look.
You know what it is? Good.
And they all regret it as soon as they jump. Supposedly the lady that jumped yesterday, she's screaming for help immediately. She's like, fuck, that was a bad idea.
Wait, did she land or she's dead?
She's fine because the divers were in the water.
She broke her leg.
She broke her leg. She would have been fucked, but the divers were already in there trying to find another guy that jumped earlier.
See, in my head, I always thought, if I... Don't you go through the scenarios where you're on a bridge and you go, okay, if this thing goes down, I'm going to make it. I'll be okay. I'll be in the water, and then I'll open the window, or if I ever fell off, I'm going to make it. Yeah. I'm going to fall exactly the way I'm supposed to fall, and then I'm going to survive. No one ever falls. No one ever falls. Think of a belly flop. How painful a 3-foot belly flop is. Right. 3 feet.
You get pink belly.
Now you're dropping from hundreds of feet.
In a truck?
In a truck. Yeah. It would...
I don't know. The airbags might help you out a little bit.
I'm a little
bit.
And
then supposedly, I guess you got to open the windows before you hit the water.
But like some of these guys, I wonder if someone goes, I wonder if there's any jumpers that go, I want to just see if I can make it.
Right.
I doubt that exists, but there has to be one dummy goes, two jackasses go, dude, I'm telling you right fucking now, I used to play basketball in high school. I got a great fucking heart. I can make it. Well, then jump, dick. And then he jumps, and you're not thinking your leg breaks and your bones break.
It's too boring around here. Niagara Falls, they try that shit with the barrels and everything else.
Yeah. Retards.
The best one was the guy that jet skied over the fucking falls. He didn't want to make it, though. I don't think he wanted. Oh, wait. Did he want to make it? Did he have a parachute? Where's my Buffalo people? When I was living up there, a guy did a jet ski.
Over the falls?
Over the falls, and I think he had a parachute. And the chute didn't open, and he did not make it.
In his head, too.
1995, yeah.
Yeah, he wanted to draw attention to the plight of the homeless.
Yeah.
What an asshole.
Give me the headline again.
How about you jump over in a sleeping bag?
Californian killed in Niagara Falls stunt accident. Parachute fails to open for rider of motorized ski. So he had a jet ski with a fucking parachute, and he thought, he'll let go of the
Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, exactly. The jet ski and then the parachute.
Yeah, he was in, it was Niagara Falls.
And he wanted to bring attention to the homeless. It's a hell of a way to do it. But that guy thought he could do it.
Yeah, exactly.
If he made that, he'd be a fucking hero.
He'd be a hero. And then there's guys, too, where he probably thinks, like a car. You know how you watch it on the movies where the car will go like 20 feet. You don't realize once it's over the ramp, it's going straight down.
Yes.
Same thing with the jet ski. He probably thinks, oh, yeah, I'll probably jet out about 40 feet. You really go 2 feet, and you go a 90-degree angle till you're plummeting to your death in my face.
They make it look a little different in
into the rocks.
Yeah,
the rocks below.
Like all of a sudden a car will go off a road, and all of a sudden it's got lift and arc.
Yeah, right. Oh, out of nowhere, it's just the wind lifts it up and gets it across where it needs to go. It doesn't do that.
You don't jump a bridge. Like if you try to jump on an open bridge, you're not going to get that. You're going to just go off and then straight into the other end and be expelled immediately.
Right.
Yes. All right. Well, that's the GWB.
Oh,
2 people yesterday alone. I really am obsessed with that because there's just too many people doing it.
Wait, what is that? What is that video? Sorry, Zach.
Which one?
That's the That's
crapshoot sample.
Look at the size of this guy, bro.
Yeah, we got Zach Wild later. I don't think that's worth. Is that worth playing right now? I want to play the Super Bowl.
Don't play that thing.
The commercial.
Yeah, let's do the Super Bowl.
I think that's when he stood on his truck and he pissed on the window.
Oh, really?
This is the type of stuff I'm talking about doing. He was pissing on the window. He was nuts. He was nuts.
So what? There's a commercial being banned, but every year there's a commercial being banned for the Super Bowl.
I think they do it.
They do it on purpose. Thanks, Jimmy.
Because it gets attention.
Yes, because then everyone's talking about it before the Super Bowl and playing the commercial.
Yeah.
They had to have known that the Super Bowl or CBS wasn't going to allow their spot.
Yeah.
Which one is it for?
Scores.
Yeah, they're not going to allow a scores commercial during the Super Bowl.
That's stupid anyway. Yeah. To even think about that.
And then we all play our part in this, like, oh, my God, they banned this commercial. Well, let's watch this commercial, and they get all their exposure.
Suckers.
Right. Well, we're going to be suckers right now. Fucking.
Yeah.
But at least we're admitting it. Let's let me see this. Yeah, they're not gonna lie.
Yeah, they're not,
Welcome
and
to
it's New York.
ScoresLive.com. Now you can experience Scores Girls Live online at ScoresLive.com. Choose from hundreds of the hottest live girls and start your one-on-one private experience. Go to ScoresLive.com and enter promo code SCORES and get 10 free private minutes right now.
Ooh.
What are you waiting for? Log on now at ScoresLive.com.
That's smart.
That's not
Very
that
smart.
bad.
It's smart as far as they know they were never going to accept that.
Yeah.
Your one-on-one experience with a stripper. Yeah, they're gonna show that during the Super Bowl.
Dun 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 dun.
It's not
Next
a bad
on
commercial,
NFL, the Super Bowl. And now a quick message. Yeah.
Scores. That's all bullshit. They knew. They just wanted to be the commercial this year that was banned by CBS.
Don't you think even did you think remember the movie with the North Korean thing?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Did you buy that really was hacked? I thought
yes.
Really?
Was Sony hacked?
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, because of because of what happened to a lot of upper management people, and the amount that's where Charlie Sheen's HIV status came from, was those hacks, because somebody referenced it in an email. Oh, yeah.
And people got fired, too.
Oh, dude, and there might be lawsuits.
Yeah.
That's 100% legit.
Really?
They got fucked. I don't know if it was North Koreans or just, I think it was an ex-employee who was unhappy
of
with
course.
them, but it's real, yeah.
It didn't help the movie in the end because they really had to yank it out of the theater.
Yeah, you never want to.
Yeah,
a bunch of people saw it on demand.
They watched it on demand.
But it's still bad when you're a part of something, because we had Seth and James Franco in here together.
I remember.
And the vibe of it, like Seth is always loose and fun, and you could see he was
uptight.
He was
they looked scared.
And James Franco, these are actors, man. They're not used to comics get yelled at on stage. We're not used to international scandal, but we are used to people talking while we're on and going, and then it gets quiet. You know, this guy sucks. We're used to hearing unpleasant shit.
You're right.
When you're a loved actor, and all of a sudden there's a fucking leader saying that we have to do something about this, it's like ugh.
You're right.
I don't think I'd handle that well either. Why am I comparing a whisper at the cellar to Kim Jong-un wanting to kill me?
But you're right.
Being on his radar.
You bring up a great point with actors in general. Comics were so used to you suck, or this, and you ain't like so-and-so. And
nastiness.
That's all we hear is nasty. So we're used to it. Where these guys, they're just used to I didn't care for the movie.
They looked very distracted that day.
And Seth is so open and fun. It's like, it was weird to see. I don't know James Franco. People say we look alike. That's for you to decide.
For you to decide.
But Seth was definitely. By the way, I finally saw Steve Jobs. Fucking Seth was great in that.
Yeah, he was.
Oh my God, was that a good movie? Even though there was a lot of long dialogue stuff, I enjoyed that.
I like that movie.
Being a dialogue guy myself, I enjoy it. But I thought it was so well acted.
It played. It was like a play.
Yeah.
Did you see
a 3-act play?
You see the De Niro flick? The
Bad Grandpa?
Yeah.
Or Dirty Grandpa?
Dirty Grandpa. I wanted to go see it just because I read with De Niro in that script and Zac Efron.
Did you really?
But I wasn't really up for the part. They said, listen, you're not really up for the part, but hey, if you blow them away. But there's a part in that movie where I play the drug dealer guy, and I really wanted that part. And so, of course, I went to go see it just like, well, let me see how this guy did. I was a little disappointed.
Was he good or no?
No, it was.
Was it a big part?
And who
it was a decent part, yeah.
Who got the part?
I honestly.
You don't know the person?
I don't know the guy.
But you know he did better. You just know.
I'm not saying.
I'll say it for you.
It's just frustrating. I'm like, damn, I could have murdered it.
You felt like you killed it.
He might have known someone who might have been the same agent as De Niro. Thing you never know.
That's true. That's true.
What's his name?
That was your fucking part. It's basically what you wanted to tell the world.
Yeah. It was really, but it's funny when you read something and now I want to go see. Here, another movie was Sex Tape.
Sex Tape.
Yeah, that's a comedy
with Cameron
Diaz.
Diaz.
Oh, right.
That's Brendan Fraser.
That's a while ago now, right?
I wish I still had the video and I would bring it in here. Damn it, I should have brought it in here. I auditioned for Rob Lowe's part. Rob Lowe played an executive for this toy company.
Right.
But when they went to his house, it said he's blasting death metal and he's on something, but you can't figure it out. And I'm like, I watched. I was like, oh, this part's mine. I'm gonna murder this part. Yeah, sorry, freaking Rob Lowe got it. But Rob Lowe is Rob Lowe. I mean,
political, man.
The guy's a monster.
If
The guy's a monster.
If they could get Rob Lowe.
How about
But if you get Rob Lowe for your movie, I mean, it's tough to say.
It was all right. I was able to sleep better. I was able to sleep better. It's like, oh, do we get Breuer for $28? Hey, we can put Rob Lowe in there. We're going to make an extra possession. This guy's good. This guy's good.
Did De Niro remember you? I mean, you did SNL with him. Even that's probably his only time walking out live. He must remember the moment.
I think he did. He wasn't like, "Hey Jim, how you doing?" We were all in the room already, and then he came and he sat. As soon as he came in, we just started immediately. He sat down at the end, and then we started reading.
He doesn't wait.
However, of everyone reading there was a black guy who played a gay guy in it, and he got the role immediately when he was. They were laughing so hard at him.
Was he good?
He was good. He was good in the room. He was really good in the room.
Okay.
Which is tough to do, right?
Which, I mean, a gay black guy?
Boy, with De Niro in the room, it's like... I had a thing where I was...
oh, no, you didn't.
Yeah,
I got it.
I had a thing where
But he was good.
And I had to read it. It was fucking... I should have gotten it, I didn't.
Which one? Which one?
They gave it to some guy, Jody. It was so annoying. I was supposed to play a young prostitute. And
Seriously?
Yeah. Back in the 70s. And I read for it.
Do you remember the name of the movie?
Taxi Cab?
Taxi Driver, maybe?
That was it.
You were up for that part. And
I was. Yeah, some guy
like
Jody.
you killed it.
I won't say it. I know I did well.
Jody was a young lady, I believe. I believe they went with a young lady.
No.
But she didn't have her lumps in yet, though. She was very flat chested.
That's right.
So I could see where maybe Jimmy would have killed that role.
I did really good.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm a hooker. Help me.
I fall for all the gay lesbian girls. I had a huge crush on Jodie Foster.
Sure.
Had no
Christy
clue.
McNichol?
Christy McNichol.
I never saw that one.
Had the biggest crush on her.
Was so cute.
And I have to say, I had a huge crush on Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah, she was cute. When she
I was
doing stand-up.
convinced when we'd meet, we would date, and she'd love me, and we'd have the best time together.
It's funny you mentioned Butch Husky. That's every girl I like. Every girl I like, that's the headline on her head.
Wow.
Ellen DeGeneres?
She was very cute.
Oh, dude, she was so adorable.
Ah, come on.
No, she was great.
Nah, she was my type. The cute, fun.
Yeah.
She was cute.
Yeah, she
And
had
was it
like...
because of her sense of humor that tricked you
And
a little
that
bit?
cute, that too. She was just cute, though. I was
Helps if they have a sense of
attracted to
humor.
her.
She was very cute, and she had like a little like neck length blonde hair, a little
Yes,
longer.
yes.
Doing that thing about playing like little air guitar in the
I was
mirror over
so
the brush.
attracted to her.
Yeah, me too. I remember when she would.
Do you like her when she wears ties?
Yes, 80s,
80s,
90s.
and she would wear a suit jacket with
Yes.
like padded shoulder
That's what I
pads.
mean. You liked her when she had the ties on?
I did. I thought she was cute.
Yeah, me too. Me
I did.
too.
I wanted to suck face with her.
I wanted to give her a kiss.
All right.
I had no idea that would never ever be on the table.
Me either.
I didn't know she'd be an iconic household name either.
You guys ever meet her?
No.
When she was coming up?
I saw her once in an elevator at SNL.
Oh, was she going down? I'm kidding. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean to be fresh.
And I was. Listen. She's one of those. I know it's like a weird. I still really look. I hold her on a pedestal. So when we're in the elevator, she went, "Hi, Jim," and I was going,
Oh my God. A little bit, huh?
Yeah.
She's funny, man.
She's very funny.
She's very funny.
I would have said, "Hey, EDG, how you doing?" You know, a little abbreviation. They like that. It's casual. It's comfortable. It shows that you're in the biz.
My kids watch her, and you want to go. This is when you know you become a dad. You're crossing over the faggy hill.
Yeah.
I was on the road, and I'm watching Ellen. And she's doing some show where she gives away, her sister's this, and then she needs a home, and she's sick, and she's the biggest fan. She did it, and she ends up I'm sobbing like a baby, sobbing, watching this. Like, this is the greatest thing anyone could ever do, man. I was mangled.
And then your phone rings at FaceTime time.
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened.
Really?
My wife calls, like, "What's the matter? You thinking of your father?" Like, no, watching Ellen. Watching Ellen, she's giving away cars and helping people
Someone's
out.
actually asking how your dad's doing. I mean,
He died last August. Last August.
Yeah, so.
He's in a spiritual world now, so I don't know.
How are your daughters? I love asking you about your daughters every time you're in here because, you know, for us people that have younger kids, you help us out with what to expect.
Well,
you always have a good story or two. Where are they at these days?
The
what age is now?
Almost 17.
Wow.
One's 14. One's 14 tomorrow, and one just turned 11. The little one is still a kid, big time kid, into AC/DC, very much like baseball,
and into hanging out with you still.
Into hanging out. The middle one is belly laughing, hilarious. She's all me. So she knows how to imitate. She knows how to mimic. She knows how to get out of situations by just being funny.
You think she'll get into the business?
I wouldn't be shocked. I don't think she's also very shy like me. Like if I don't know who I'm with, I'm very quiet, very quiet. With the oldest one, she's
Does she love hanging out with you, the oldest one?
Yeah, we're very very close. We don't really hang out. She got a boyfriend, all that jazz. But she like, for instance, I know she's sneaky. She's the one where every time she says something, I go, I don't believe one word you're saying. I always think she's plotting something. She's always plotting something. And it drives me nuts that I don't nail it. I nailed it 80% of the time. I've nailed it. Like, for instance, during the summer, right, we rented a place in Woodstock, and this house had a barn. They redid the barn. And when I first get to the house, I check out everything. I check out every room. They have a fridge in the barn. I open the barn, and there's a big bottle of vodka in the back of the fridge. There's nothing in the fridge but vodka and about 7 beers that I've never heard of. So I'm like, oh, all right, I'm not going to mess with that. So she's planning the things with teenagers, and I don't know why certain parents are like, oh, I wouldn't do that. The key is their phone. Their phone is like
world.
When you're at war, you want to get the control of all communication. When you get the kid's phone, you own you got all the information you want right there.
Yeah, believe me, I've gotten a lot of calls from angry parents.
And thank God she's not super street smart. So the one day her cousin's coming, who's the same age, and she comes up and she's planning something. She's like, my friends are coming. They're very desperate. Oh, my friends are coming. Yeah. You can definitely have them sleep in the barn. My friends are going, yeah, sleep in the barn. So her cousin comes. Can we just sleep in the barn? Go ahead. I think it's great, you and your cousin. It's like 10 o'clock at night. She comes walking up about 10:30 in the dark, and we're getting ready for bed. She goes, can I take the orange juice down to the barn? You don't drink orange juice. Well, it's just good for breakfast. And I don't even hesitate. I just take the phone. And right there just explains everything. This Saturday night, live in the barn, a party with 14 of us. You bring the booze, I'll bring the pot. It's going to be on. Parents will never know. And it's like, he's
right there.
Do you realize, like, you can't even, don't ask me for the orange juice. Wait till I'm in bed and come and sneak it.
That's a rookie move.
It's such a rookie move.
That's a rookie move.
Well, they didn't know, like, they don't understand, like, when we had to do stuff, we didn't have that. There was no way to catch all our communication unless you overheard it.
Yes.
But now, there's a fucking paper trail. There's an electronic trail. Everything you've just said, it's crazy.
And I also...
But are they able to hide stuff from you on their phone? Because they're smarter at that than us.
Yes, so here's what you do, parents. And here's our deal.
Yeah.
If I grab your phone and I notice you have erased text messages, it's gone for a month. And she only failed at that once. Because I know for a fact, she used to go, well, it's to save the battery. Wait, so you're deleting messages?
Dad, he'll believe this.
Yeah, you're deleting messages to save battery time.
Wait a minute, how can you tell there's deleted messages?
Oh, if I started texting you today, Jim, and we text for next month,
sure,
it'll go back all the way to our first conversation.
Oh yeah. No, I believe
Yeah,
I've
we know
jerked
that.
off to many
But
of those.
I didn't know you could. I didn't know
Not
you could
with you.
see deleted messages though.
No, you can't. But what you could do is, if I know, like her friend, she doesn't talk to them once or twice. I know certain friends you talk to all the time. If you start scrolling and all of a sudden it just stops, and there's only like 4 words, like, oh, you deleted.
There was a conversation.
You had a
and that's
conversation, you
missing.
deleted
Gotcha.
it.
Gotcha.
Oh, wow, you're in lockdown.
And I'm not obviously a parent, but
Unless you fess up.
My question is,
Yeah.
is that not to is that too invasive in the sense that if they were just talking, you'd never be able to go and grab that back. This just happens to be a communication. So if they erase it, isn't it just like, well, they were talking?
No.
I don't know the rules.
Let me ask you this.
I think if you're a parent, you should be allowed to be as invasive
Absolutely.
as possible
Because
until they leave your fucking house.
Because what
Right?
you worry about as a parent is addictions and pregnancy. If she did that party, and listen, who doesn't do parties, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't know the people that were coming. She just met these guys in like Guadalupe, wherever she was in some trip. And now for the first time, I'm going to, and I'm like, I probably would have lost my mind knowing there were people wasted. I don't know their parents.
Right.
I don't know if they're trying to bang each other. I don't know what's going on.
I'm raising my hand because the other thing is, like, you're responsible, too. If
I'm responsible.
One of these kids gets fucked up
And I'm renting the house.
and
If they
breaks a
start
leg or
smashing
something,
shit.
the parents are going to come after you. Well,
Exactly.
Maybe not, but
Yes.
there's
No,
definitely
they
a
will.
possibility.
No, we actually
There's a
talked about this
possibility.
last time you were here.
Yes.
I remember we discussed this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the responsibility. When I say too invasive, I don't mean like you shouldn't do, but I mean if you're like, if you say like a month with no phone, like is that going to make her not delete messages? I guess it might. Maybe
It just makes her. Listen, I wouldn't take it away for a month, and I haven't. But you need to. It's like a cop on the corner.
Oh, it's like what's the word? Not a diversion. It's a. Oh my
If you
God.
if you live in a neighborhood and you see a cop on the corner, you might think twice.
Deterrent.
Yes, that's exactly. It's just a little deterrent and make you think a little more, which she doesn't know how to do. Here, I'll give you another one.
Can I ask you something before you move on?
Yeah.
So, but when we were 17, we were doing all this shit, and you knew, it was all right to do. So, are you tormented inside because you understand it a little bit that at that age you were trying to get some shit past your parents?
I started 17, 18. Not that makes a difference, but put it this way: the best saying is, "Show me your friends, I'll tell you who you are." A couple of friends frighten me, and I'm like, oh god, and you don't want to. There's so many. Listen. Boys are easy to approach. You call them a retard, you punch them, you whatever, you call them out. You tell a girl the wrong way and her finger's down her throat. And she's got a razor and they're cutting themselves.
Right.
And you're dealing with a whole different... What are you doing in there? You don't like my friends. All I said was...
That's all it takes.
All I said was you shouldn't wear those shorts. Why are you cutting yourself? I don't feel anything. What's just... I thought this was a conversation. What just went down? How did this happen? So, why are all the Band-Aids missing again? It's
God. And guys and boys just are different, you think?
Boys are retard. What are you doing? I'm doing that. They're retarded. It's fine. A girl, you can. What are you retarded? Why are you slicing your? What are you doing?
Oh wow!
Why are you tattooing your forehead? Dad sucks. What's going on? I don't. So, it's a whole tip. But thank God, I will say this. She's got a great soul and she's all that stuff, but she just, you know what? It's like Star Wars. It really is. She's got the good force, but it's always like, feel the power of the dark side. Yeah.
Just don't come home with a guy doing Vader's voice.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had that conversation. So, here's a great one, too.
Yeah.
They went on a cruise. She gets pissed that I talk about this, but whatever. I'm really doing it for the parents. She comes home she's on a cruise with grandma and her cousin. I know they're going to hang out. I know they're going to drink. When I went on a cruise, I was out of control as a teenager. It was a blast. So I wanted her to have a great time. And there's this fine line. You go have a great time. Nobody gets hurt. You don't hurt yourself. And you don't get arrested. You don't draw attention. And don't get caught, stupid. Don't get caught. It's that easy. 7 in the morning, the day they dock. Now, my wife, she's the bad cop. I'm the good cop. She's the bad cop. I come in, I offer you the cigarette, which today's like, listen, I'm going to try to get your iPod back. I'm going to try to get your phone back. Try to get you to see your boyfriend, but I really need some help here. I need some details where she just comes in. I'm taking the door off the hinges. I'm sending you to boarding school. I'm cutting your hair. You're never leaving again. You will be shipped to Asia and work in a fucking village the rest of your life. Like, easy. D is, oh man, the nostrils come out. She's hardcore.
She wants to take the door off the hinges.
You should have seen her yesterday. D comes over because this big we grew up with money. Well, I grew up with nothing. These kids grew up with money. So for 10 years we had maids and shit. Well, now we don't have them. So the kids are like, I'm going to do the kitty litter. And you would think I've had a chain on them with a prod, like, get on your knees and scoop that shit, you fuck. I can't believe they're making me do this. And so they're going through a training process. So she just bought a prom dress, whatever, like $500 prom dress, right? So D comes in the room. She's like, they are disrespectful. They won't do the dishes. All I asked was for her to put the food away. And that's all she did. She doesn't do the dishes, the laundry, the deck, the bag of thing, and fuck her and take the phone. And all that out for 3 years. Like, listen. And then the little ones come down. My oldest come down. She's making me pay for my prom dress. It's fucking madness. But what I was getting to, the cruise. Now, Dee's right next to me, okay? Now, the plan we have is, if you're in trouble, come to me, give me the whole fucking lowdown, and I'll present it to the bad cop, okay? Because I can't hold things from the bad cop. But I'll present it in a way where she's not going to fly off the handle. And I'm going to just come to me first, trust me. Well, the phone's ringing at 7 in the morning. I'm right next to Dee sleeping. And she, hello? Dad! Oh, my God, no. Christ, what's going on? Dad, I made a really bad mistake.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. This is not good. Okay, go.
What team does he play for? Oh, no. Oh, no.
And my mind was all over the place. She's on a ship. My mind's all over the place. I go, okay, what's the matter? She's like, are you next to Mom? Now, the phone just rang, so Dee's eyes like, bing! She's white. Is that her? Why is she crying? Everything's good. I got it. So I can't even hide where I'm going. I go in the bathroom. What's the matter? She goes, I didn't know that when you take alcohol out of a minibar, you had to pay for it.
No.
I wanted to giggle immediately and laugh immediately, but long story short, she's like, so I left cash in a note, but I don't know if I should do that. Like, no. She's like, I need your credit card. So I gave it. I said, all right, just fill out the paper and with the credit card thing. And by the time I had this vision of, she went in the room, they trashed the room, people threw up. It was, at the end of the day, her and her cousin, she was the gopher. She'd go in, grab the alcohol, bring it to where all the kids are hanging out, and they drank. The last night, I'm like, that's it.
Yeah.
That's all that went down? Don't worry about it.
That's easy.
Yeah, but her mentality, and she's going to college, and she'll go, what'd she say the other day? Dad, did you know that freshmen in college, the percentage of people that die and get sick from alcohol poisoning is through the roof? Oh, yeah? She's like, so that's why I should go to more parties now, so I that's how. Oh, that's how hard I laughed in her face.
Of course.
Like, what do you think you're doing in college? You think I'm paying for you to go have a party?
Oh God. Yeah.
So
what did Dee say about the cruise thing? Was she cool with it?
Yeah, we just made him go to the grandmothers, give the money back, and apologize to the two of them for breaking their trust and all that jazz. But, it was, at the end of the day, that's very minor. If that's all I got to worry about, I'm fine. She's a good kid.
That's funny, man. So they're doing well, your daughters.
So far, I'm always on guard. You're on guard 24/7.
So the one is a senior going to college next year?
No, junior.
Oh, okay.
Now we got to start checking out colleges.
Oh, okay. That's crazy.
You can never go wrong with that sound.
That's a great sound. Really funny. It's a great sound. It makes me feel like a man when I'm with a girl and she makes that sound. Makes me feel like she's struggling.
Judd Apatow is going to come in a little bit. I want to squeeze in this plane story before we get Judd in here. What the fuck happened? A mini explosion and then the guy got sucked out of the plane?
Sucked out of the plane.
Was it
Where was
this? Oh, God.
Where was this?
Mogadishu.
Yeah.
Enough said.
What kind of explosion was it?
I wonder if it was a bomb on the guy.
They're not totally sure.
Yeah, because it blew out the side of the plane, not where an engine is.
Right.
If you see where it is, it was like, it wasn't even the emergency door, was it?
That
pilot
makes
said
no sense.
Pilot said he thought it was a bomb. An aviation expert who looked at photographs of the hole in the fuselage said the damage was consistent with an explosive device. So, all right.
What a retard.
Fucking
Good
guy.
for him.
There's video.
There's video of the plane, right?
Not of the guy getting sucked
Not
out.
the guy getting sucked out.
Yeah, of course not.
But if that's
the guy that got sucked out, was he the one that possibly had the bomb, though?
Probably, yeah.
Probably was blowing a hole in the side of the plane. And was hoping the whole plane was going to go out.
Him
And
getting sucked
him
out.
getting just got sucked out.
What? Isn't that great?
Do you know how stupid you must feel when you're flying out and all of a sudden the plane just keeps going like, oh, no.
Oh, nerds.
Oh, shucks.
This didn't turn out the way I expected.
Ah, that stinks.
Yeah, let's see the video of the plane they had with the hole in it. Make it bigger.
Not a lot of people on the plane.
No.
And there's the hole. So someone filmed it after the fact, obviously. All right. Everyone's pretty calm considering.
Really
considering
calm.
there's a hole in the side of the plane that sucked somebody out.
Yeah, there's like a guy missing.
Why is everyone so calm?
And why are all these people flying over Mogadishu? What the fuck are they doing?
They're just looking out the window. They got their oxygen masks on. A lot of them got their phones up. But they're just chilling. They all moved to the back of the plane, obviously.
But once they realized...
They moved away from that section of the plane, but it's still flying with a hole in it. Why isn't anyone yelling or anything? I'd be out of my fucking mind.
Well, this is after the move, I'm guessing. This is probably once they realized, okay, we're going to land.
Right.
Are they all wearing masks? Yeah.
Yeah.
But the whole time,
No, they're not even wearing masks.
So this is probably after the cabin pressure is stabilized.
Right. But the whole time you got to be thinking, there's a hole in the side of this plane. Could this get worse?
Yeah. I would say
they're pretty chill.
Going. You probably wouldn't take off, though, like that.
Oh,
probably not.
We'll tweet out the picture of the hole in the side. Wow.
It's Dallo Airlines. I don't want to fly any airlines with 2 A's in a row in the name.
But it looks like a cartoon thing when
It really does.
A cartoon character goes through a wall or something.
Yeah.
Side of the plane looks like that. By the way, you had a high school principal saying that you're nailing the teenage shit.
Oh,
Nailing it.
oh.
We just tweeted that picture out. Man, there's a way to see deleted text messages through Spotlight searching keywords.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Or you could see deleted text messages by using the SIM card because some of the data remains. All right.
Jimmy, you listen to any new metal?
You know, not really, man.
I know.
Not that it's bad. I'm just
I know.
stuck in my ways.
I know.
It's
like
a lot
asking,
of new metal out there, though.
There is. Do you listen to any?
Not really, to be honest with you.
I know. It's hard. It's our age.
I mean,
By the way,
I don't listen to a lot of...
Yeah, what is saying?
It may have been a terror attack foiled by a flight delay, because they're saying they were 10,000 feet. So I'm guessing it might have been something on board the plane or something that was put under a seat.
Timed.
Or put under a seat, timed to 30,000 feet.
Which would have made a
maybe
big
worse.
difference, maybe?
I don't know. Maybe that's what they're saying. Witnesses on board described the burning body of a man being sucked through a huge hole. A bomb ripped in the fuselage.
All right, so they're saying it's a bomb.
A mystery blast was tore through the plane, killed one person. It may have been a botched terror attack foiled by the delay. Witnesses described the burning body of a man. Oh, I just said that It was delayed leaving Somalia, and this means any potential bombs on board, if set to a timer, they explode at a lower altitude, giving the passengers a better chance. So this guy was on fire. I wonder if he might have been dead already.
Well, he must have been.
But if he was burning, it might have been a second before he was sucked out.
Right.
They shouldn't have let him board if he was on fire.
Dude, I've been saying that for months. I've been saying that for months.
They're getting a little lazy.
Yeah, the guy's smoking. They probably, well, I bet when they were doing the announcements, they were like, no smoking in the restroom. I bet they looked at him and said, now, that means you.
Delightful.
Put yourself out.
I'm just amazed how calm everybody is. I think if that was a flight in America, people would be screaming.
Nah, maybe initially they
There's
were.
a hole in the plane? I would.
That happened already on Aloha Airlines.
Right.
A big piece of
I
the
remember.
roof got sucked off.
I
was on
remember
that
that
flight.
You were?
I was holding on.
For dear life?
Absolutely. I was fine.
Before break, can I see the NAACP video?
Sure.
This is. I don't want to tell
is
this. This one's wonderful.
What is it?
We'll just have the big reveal on the show.
It's
quick.
Very quick.
It's quick, and then we'll take a break and get Judd Apatow in here. And then a little later, we got Zach Wilde and also Stone Cold Steve Austin. We had him on once a few years ago.
Show?
He's awesome. I know. We're going to squeeze in a lot in the next hour and a half. 10:30.
It's loading up.
It's loading up this video?
Yeah. It's a 5-second.
How long I gotta wait?
Here we go.
All right, here we go.
How long I got? You called those videos?
Where's the...
This is the NAACP leader speaking to a reporter.
Okay.
Lastly, can you just talk about the
Oh, he's a white guy?
Lastly, can you just talk about the nice tits?
Wow. He said nice tits.
With a microphone right in his face.
Yeah.
Why is there a fucking an old white guy leading the NAACP anywhere?
In Phoenix. And,
I get it. Okay.
Yeah, it's Phoenix. He had to resign. He had to resign for that.
Well,
he's
apologies.
77. Okay.
He told the Phoenix News Times he was really fucking sorry. That was his quote.
Yep.
I'm really fucking sorry.
He added, I'm going to slash...
I'm really fucking sorry.
I'm going to slash my wrist. Better yet, I'm going to throw myself out a fucking window, except I'm on the first floor.
Dude, he's funny.
Yeah, he's very disappointed in himself. Nice tits. Jeez. Yeah, that doesn't go over well. Maybe in the 50s, but not in this day and age. You can't say that.
Oh, please. Everyone says it.
True.
Everyone, it's
ridiculous, right?
It's nonsense. The way people talk is...
You just can't say it to a reporter
You just
with a
can't
mic
say
on.
a reporter with a mic on and there's cameras facing you.
That's you're giving a speech. It's a bad time to say nice tits.
Yeah.
You got
Nice tits.
You got to choose your spots better.
Yeah. He dropped the ball. That's a part. Bad timing, Hammer.
Yep. You're not following the election. I remember asking you the last time.
No, but I love
these-
listening to the madness.
These choices are starting to scare the fuck out of me.
Oh, please. Listen, again, it's so
I
goofy.
know.
It's such a carnival.
I know.
It's hilarious watching you people get wound up.
Well, nothing drastic.
Who do you think? Right now, you're going to have to put $1 million. Right now. Now, who you think? Now, who you want? $1 million. You will win that $1 million. Who's going to be the president?
I still think it's Hillary's to lose.
Absolutely.
I think it's an easy.
It is written in the book, sire. It has been written for many years. If you look at the great dynasty of the Clintons and the Bushes, they all are the Vince McMahons of this country. However, you shall sit and actually think you're voting while you watch the carnival go round and round and it's glorified by the lights.
I would like to believe that.
Send the thunder.
I would like to believe that, but why is Jeb Bush doing so shitty then?
That's the question.
It ain't his...
It's not his time.
Nah, man, he ain't ready.
But he looks ridiculous. Trump's
The
making him
Bushes
look
are still
ridiculous.
people are mad at. Listen, the gas price. It's a little nice paying $1.60 for gas.
Pretty
When's
nice.
the last time you did that?
Pretty nice.
$1.60?
In the end, that's all we care about. We want cheap gas, right?
Well, that's it.
Cheap gas.
Happy.
That war for oil ruled. Well done.
Well done. That's right. Well done. Well, what was
We're down to $1.60
$1.60
a gallon.
Dun 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 dun.
I got a piss.
Yeah, we could pee. We got lots going on. Jimmy's heading out tomorrow for a big gig in Louisville.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be here tomorrow. I didn't realize my
Louisville.
flight was so early because there's only 2 flights a day, I guess, going there, and one does not get me in on time for the show. So I'm heading. I like to say it with a little local flavor. I'm going to Louisville. Oh, Colin Quinn season 2 is up.
It is.
His show is Cop Show season 2 is up.
Nice. He has a show?
Yeah,
Dude,
it's on online.
It's great.
Is it him as the star?
Yes.
Yes.
That's awesome.
He's the head police officer.
Head police officer.
And I have a very good episode. I saw it and I was very happy.
Oh,
Does
good.
he write it and all that?
Yes, he does.
Yeah, they're very quick episodes, too.
What do you mean quick?
They're like 5-7 minutes, something like that.
It?
7-8 minutes. I'm trying to remember.
But he's got
very quick.
Steve Buscemi in this season, Danny Aiello. He's got some really cool people. Chris Rock. Everyone wants to do this. So season 2 is now up.
It's only 7 minutes.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Good for Colin.
Yeah. A lot of the criticism.
He's got like cameras following him, and he kind of gives you the ins and outs of.
So he's dressed like a cop and like what?
He's a detective.
He's a detective, but he's.
I love it.
He's being filmed, and it's just very uncomfortable at times. It's great. It's really good.
Yeah.
I didn't know the second season was up already.
Yeah, it went up
Yeah,
yesterday.
he kind of comes off like an asshole in it, so it's perfect.
Yeah, it's wonderful. All right, we'll tweet out the link, but everybody should watch.
That sounds
Colin Quinn's
perfect
Cop
for him.
Show. It's really good. Like somebody should pick it up and make it. I don't know, maybe try to expand on it. It's that good. So,
where do I see that?
We'll give you the link. I forget the.
But what is it called?
Cop Show.
It's just called Cop Show.
But I can go on Colin Quinn's website.
I don't know. He has a website.
What?
Technologically.
What is he, 90?
Yeah, Colin is fucking. He's around where the Apollo 13 was. So other people do it.
What's
that?
It's a YouTube channel.
It's a YouTube
I
channel?
if you just Google Colin Quinn Cop Show.
Yeah, it has to be on. So.
Go it.
I thought it was on a website. I mean,
It was, but
oh, now it's on YouTube. All right, it's on. It's okay.
We'll put the link up.
Yeah, we're gonna link it out on. Put the link on our stuff. Jim Breuer just fucking killing today. He's got the Wilbur Theater this Friday night, right in Boston. That should fucking sell out, dude.
Yeah, it's fucking with my ego there.
They're crazy.
I didn't even look at ticket counts, but
I'm sure you're doing
I'm
fine.
not doing 2 shows like Jimmy here. Bing, bang, bing.
But you're doing fine. Wilbur Theater this Friday with Brewer in Boston. Are you kidding? What else are you fucking doing up there? You can't.
Wilbur,
Brady.
then Jersey, then Maryland, Long Island.
Paramount. Filming some videos or one video for your
music videos all day February 13th, each show.
That's awesome. For your metal record, which is coming out in May. Is that it?
We're going to put the link up
Yeah.
for Colin. It's on lstudio.com.
Yeah, I thought there was a website as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's on. Oh, that. All right, whatever. We just tweeted it out.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Well, let me take a break. We got Judd Apatow coming in next. Stay there. I just learned that Brewer's doing a fucking podcast, and I didn't even know about it. I'm downloading
It's only
that.
like 5-6 episodes.
All right, well, I'm downloading every
I'm very
fucking
excited
episode.
about it.
I want to do your show, you son of a bitch.
Whenever you're ready.
All right.
It's the metal in me.
I think we're going to add it to our channel. I'm not even going to ask you. I'm just fucking stealing that one, and I'm throwing it on this channel.
Please do.
I'm going to do that.
I was emailing Don. I'm hoping we can make an announcement by the end as to when it's airing. By the end of today's show.
Like this weekend, we'll get one on?
Yep.
Fucking A.
I'm happy you're back doing this shit.
Yeah, I had to find something that will get me going at least once a week, and this gets me going once a week.
Yeah, the weekly podcast.
Yes.
That's one I would listen to because you do things differently.
And you got to do it about something that gets you going.
Yes.
That's the thing. Like for me, it's being helpful.
Right.
Doing a podcast about being helpful.
I like listening to you.
Yeah, just a podcast about being helpful.
People call in, they're like, Jimmy, I got this problem.
Oh, I don't mean that. I'm going to do a new one just about helping people.
Well,
randomly.
that's why I was laughing. I know where you were going. But Jimmy is actually helping people with his
I know.
my show.
I
on
know.
Wednesdays.
I like that. I listen to it.
We're going to rename it. Just called Being Helpful.
Being helpful with Jim Norton. Call
No,
now.
G, just being helpful.
With your problems. Yeah, so the podcast, very cool. How do they get it? Just the usual places?
You go on my website. It's on
JimBrewer.com, little iTunes
Facebook.
action,
Yeah,
Facebook.
yeah. I put the link everywhere. I make it very easy for everyone.
I swear I didn't know. I can't wait to listen to them.
I love it. I think they're it's funny. It's
and you're doing a little music with it.
Music, but it's not like when I have bands on. And I tell them too. Like I get a lot of the newer bands. I gotta listen, man. I don't listen to this music. I'm telling you, I don't listen to screamo stuff. I don't get it. So, and then I'll do just stuff I used to do on I used to have Metal Month when I was on satellite. But it was very frustrating because the crew I was with didn't really get metal, and it used to drive me fucking nuts. And I would have, I had Halford in, I'd sing with Halford, and we were doing game shows with these fucking guys.
Right.
And I'm like, is there a market for this? Is there metalheads? Like, fuck it. I'm just going to start doing the sketches on Metal and Me, and the talk is 3 of my band members are in there. So you kind of get to know the band members, and they're funny. They're funny as hell.
And as long as the jokes are there, which
as long as it's funny and entertaining.
Of course they will be.
Exactly.
It's going to be successful no matter what you're talking about.
But
good for
you've had Jamie Just on the show.
He's
very good.
awesome.
I couldn't.
He's very good.
He's probably listening right now.
He was on. He came on for an episode. We had a great time. He's big time into Slayer. And then I went on his, and I was on there for over an hour, and I was like, holy shit, it's an hour? We can be doing this for 10 straight weeks.
Yeah, he knows how to do this shit.
Wow, we only
had him on once so far, I think. It's been a while, too. So, Jamie, fucking text me, man.
So do you tell
them? Back on
the
show.
They had, like, the real dog, like that speed metal, which a lot of it I don't get, the screaming.
I tell them.
I'll say, this is too loud for me.
Dude, here.
I don't like it.
I don't like it.
It's not my cup of tea.
I can't understand what you're saying.
This is no Ronnie James. Like, for instance,
what we throat singing?
No. But one of the sketches we do, and we're gonna film it at the I'll tell you
Apollo?
what. The Apollo. They're gonna love it. We do metal monologues. So we pick songs that even if you don't know what the metal song, like, and in the new generation, they think our music's more like
classic rock,
like the Beatles,
right?
Like they listen to Priest and Ozzy, and they go, "That's metal." Where when we grew up, we're like, this is fucking metal.
Yeah.
But to them, it's a joke. It's like listen to Genesis right now. So we, like, for instance, one of the episodes, we do Living After Midnight, the words of Living After Midnight, but you have to do it come in as a monologue. And we did it as an older couple and was fucking arguing with each other. It was hilarious. And you would never know it's the song.
Right. Okay.
You'll like it, man.
Okay. We will definitely check it out. Is Judd here?
He's on his way.
Oh, he's on. All right. So we can't really start anything else. Don't forget, Jimmy's hitting the road, Louisville this weekend.
Yeah, I don't know if there's. I guess people are buying tickets. I hope Louisville, Laughing Derby, and then the theater tour starts next week.
Yeah, what are you doing in Louisville? What are you doing in Louisville?
The
you
Laughing
can't come
Derby.
see North.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, of course.
You're asking me.
The Laughing Derby. Get your tickets now. And then Breuer's going to be at the Wilbur Theater this Friday. And with that, we say good morning to Judd Apatow. What's up, Judd?
Hey, Judd.
Welcome.
Hey, Judd, how are you? How are you, man?
What's going on, buddy? I saw the first 2 episodes.
Oh, excellent.
No, actually, I saw. No, it's even better. I saw the first 4. I saw the first 4.
Oh, good.
That means I liked it, because usually you try to see one so you can talk about it a little bit. But I was like, this is all right, man. I like it.
It's built to watch in, I think, 2 sittings.
How many episodes total?
We're on the air now, right?
We are.
Yeah.
There's a casual attitude.
Yeah.
Well, we like that, though.
We like that. We try to get dirt out of people as soon as they can.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
So
Tell
if
us
we
your
even having
dark
sex with them,
secrets.
they just blurt it out.
Right.
Anything could have happened in that one moment there.
Oh, yeah.
Could have been a career ender.
I guess that was a weird way to start, but I watched 4 episodes last night. I was excited to talk to you about it. It's very good, man. It's called Love, and it's on Netflix.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like making a 5-hour movie, which is what I've always been trying to do, minute by minute. Because people always say, why are the movies so long? And I always feel like, because I'm trying to go deeper with the characters, and I need that extra 12 minutes. It's only like 8 minutes or 12 minutes, and people say they're long, and then they go home and they'll watch like 11 episodes of Breaking Bad in a row. And at some point I realized, I should be doing that thing. So it's been really, really fun to be allowed to.
Is it hard for you to, do you like going long because you get married to the materials? Like, it's hard to, I like that, and it's really hard to chop anything.
I don't know. I think it's one of those things you decide later whether or not it was a wise choice or not. Because when you're in the editing room, there does come a moment where you think, if I lose this scene, you won't understand this about that person.
Right.
And you go, I can't cut it. But then you also know, I'm past the line that people want to be in a movie theater next to kids texting.
Right.
At home, you'll watch a 4-hour movie. It's all that. No one has ever said, I saw your movie at home and it was long.
Right.
It said, go to the movie theater sucks most of the time. Everyone's loud and making noise, and things are flashing on their phones. So, and I like long movies. Someone said to me, you're showing respect for your characters when you think they're worth a little more more time. So I don't know. I'm probably a bad judge because if a movie's good, I'll watch it all day.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I was surprised Hateful Eight was, over 3 hours, but you didn't care. Did you see it?
I haven't seen it
yet.
yet. I'm pretty bad this year. I haven't seen
You haven't seen a lot of movies?
seen much.
I enjoyed it, but I was surprised that they said, yeah, we're just going to put it out as a very long movie.
Well, do you
In
use
this day
the
and
same
age.
editor every time? Like Tarantino used the same. She passed away, and she was apparently a really big part of his success.
Yes.
Because she would chop things that he didn't want chopped, and they would argue. But they said she was usually right. Do you have one person you usually use?
Two different people. There's a great guy named Bill Kerr, and he edited Superbad and Trainwreck, and then this guy Brent White who did Knocked Up and This Is 40 and 40-Year-Old Virgin, and they're great. I mean, it's really fun. And then you show the funny thing is you'll show your movie to a test audience. We'll go do that. You go out in the valley and you show it to 300 people, and sometimes it tests better longer. Where like you cut 10 minutes out and suddenly they don't like it as much. So it's a difficult thing to figure out.
How nerve-wracking is that? And are you just in the back of the theater?
I'm
Watching their reaction?
I'm in the middle of the theater, because if you're in the back, you can't hear the laughs, because they'll go forward.
But then
you want to be in the center.
I asked that because then they know you're in the center, and then are they laughing a little harder because they know you're right there? Is that
I don't know. I try to slip in, but
you sneak in.
I don't think anyone would laugh extra to help me out.
Right. What are they getting out of that at the end of the day? Like, he saw me laughing.
I don't know. I
think that might last for like a minute. Then they're like, dude.
I think you get caught up in the energy, though. I've been to a whole bunch of these, and you feel like you're caught up in the energy, and you're.
It's like stand-up, though. It'll die so fast if it's not working.
Yeah.
Like, there is that energy, and you feel it. Sometimes, like, you're at a preview, and the place is, like, rocking, like the Who are about to come out. But 8 minutes in, if you don't have the goods, that room is so disappointed. Like, it'll drop so fast.
It's like when Seinfeld goes on, like, they give him, I think he's even said, they give him like 5 minutes of like, you're a celebrity and an icon, and then it's like, okay, now what? And that's why they like going on in places unannounced, because you want the honest reaction and material to test it. So you want an honest reaction.
Yeah.
Like last night at the Cellar, I disappointed the crowd.
Did you eat one? That's nice.
I didn't eat it, but it's like the end of a show, and Hannibal's there, and Todd Barry, and Judah, and you just feel like they've had enough. I'm the last person. I'm not going to bring this home, like tearing the house down. So I just said to the crowd, this is going to be a slow landing tonight. You're going to come down
be nice
a
and
little
smooth, though.
Yeah, this is going to be a Somalia Airlines landing.
With the hole in the plate.
That's the worst, man, when you're fucking eating it and you know that they all agree. Like there's been times when you'll hear somebody say something like, this is not good. Or you'll like overhear it because the room is quiet and you know other people.
But
exactly.
But all you guys, you're not bothered by bombing, which I've always found fascinating. But you accept it like it's just part of the process.
You get used to it, yeah.
When I was doing the book, Sick in the Head, which is the interviews with all the comedians, Jon Stewart talked about leaning into the bomb, and I never thought about that because I always didn't want to bomb.
Yeah.
I was terrified of it. I used to enjoy watching Norm Macdonald on Weekend Update because when he would eat it, he would slow down. Right. He would start punishing the crowd, and you could tell he wasn't feeling bad. He was getting angry.
Right.
And Jon Stewart said, you got to lean into it. You got to, like, love it. And it really helped me change my head and go, oh, yeah, I guess you can kind of luxuriate in it.
You can own it, I guess.
I've seen Norm take some beatings, and it's the funniest thing you've ever seen. Like, I think when he's doing it, he enjoys it. He absolutely enjoys it.
Yeah.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Tell us about Love.
So Love is, I was working with Paul Rust, who was actually in, he was in Tarantino's Nazi movie.
Right. Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah. I was going to say Intolerable Bastards. I don't know why. And,
Which guy is he?
The Jew.
Oh, yeah.
There's one guy they CGI'd him all over the fucking film.
Yeah, he's one of them. And Paul, is a great writer and a great actor, and his wife and him, Leslie Arfin, were saying they wanted to do something about relationships. And I said, I had this idea in a notebook. Actually, I called the idea Trainwreck. I just stole the idea for the name and gave it to Amy. But the idea was for a TV show that would follow every step of a relationship. So if they met each other and talked for 10 seconds, that would be an episode. And then if he thinks about calling her but doesn't, that maybe the whole episode they wouldn't talk. And if they broke up, maybe a whole season they wouldn't even see each other. And then maybe another season they would see each other
like
again.
in real time almost.
Yeah, like a real-time relationship, almost like Knocked Up as a series, but a real-time thing.
Yes.
And that's what we did, and I think it came out great. It's Gillian Jacobs from Community.
She's great in it.
And it's really interesting. And it's weird because you do put it on, and it's hard to shut it off. They do that thing at Netflix where they almost start the next one before the other one ends.
Yeah, it's the worst because you automatically go right. There's no way to turn it off and go, all right, fuck it, I'll catch it tomorrow.
Just click on play.
Yeah, it's great. They
now
added
you're
very
committed
well there.
for another 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I like Paul Russell a lot. I didn't really know much about him. He has kind of a McLovin feel to him a little bit in this.
And he's a big, he's been on a big kind of legend at UCB for a long time, and he's really funny. And it's a simple show, but hopefully it works, and we're doing the second season now.
It's shot beautifully, and I like how you use music in it.
Yeah,
I love your music picks.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that's the most fun part for me is picking music. The fact that you get to do that, you kind of feel like you're collaborating with bands, even though you never meet them.
Yeah,
you're just like, oh man, I feel like me and Van Halen just had a moment together.
Have you ever been priced out of a song? Like, I want to use this, but the band is just not going to be reasonable and let us use it for a price that we think is appropriate?
Yeah, and the one that breaks my heart, it kills me, is we were doing Freaks and Geeks and we were canceled. But we had Neil Young in the punk episode. So when the show ended, right now it's Dean Martin, but it was Only Love Can Break Your Heart to this montage. Okay. It made you bawl. It was incredible. We send the episode to Neil Young. He approves it. And he wants a fair amount of money, but not like insane.
Yeah.
On the higher end, but fair. The show gets canceled. But now we're finishing the show, and we know maybe it'll be somewhere someday, but maybe not. We didn't know people would put it out on DVD, like a canceled half-a-season show. And they said, well, Judd, if you want the song, you'd have to write the check. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was $30,000 or $15,000 for a show that may never air again or go on DVD. And I was like, yeah, I guess that's not a good idea. And I lose sleep in the middle of the night.
Because it's been canceled, yeah.
Yeah, and we would have been great.
What song did you end up using?
A Dean Martin, You're Nobody Till Somebody Loves You.
Oh, right, okay.
Which works pretty well. But there's some of those every once in a while.
Right. In the new show, Love, you turned me on to Jet by Paul McCartney and Wings.
Oh, that's right.
I haven't heard that song in a while. I'm like, fuck yeah. I remember how good this song was.
At a party, like a dad band plays Jet by Paul McCartney.
They're just fooling around.
But the guy who's the lead guy in that dad band is E from the band The Eels.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Who is unbelievable. So he's trying to play bad, but he's great.
He's good. It's a good scene. And I got to say, you show tits, too, which isn't bad.
You're on Netflix. You're on Netflix.
I've had this discussion over the years. Like, showing tits in movies became a bad thing for some reason.
Well, there was a moment where it became almost like a Porky's type of idea.
Right. Yeah. Right.
And, or like a Skinemax thing. But I feel like I've shown enough penises to balance it out.
Attaboy.
But you get to see a little of that in this.
I'm respectful. I show all the parts.
Good. That's nice. Women always complain. How come there's no dick? Like women have always complained. Like you'll see a bush, but you never see a guy's dick.
And there was a good sex scene in one of the earlier episodes, and my son was next to me on his Minecraft, and I'm like, oh fuck, this is really awesome.
Oh.
And I had to turn down the sound though.
How old is your son?
5.
I
have to be responsible.
I've made this mistake. Like I'm watching Louie, and I'm with my daughter, and I'm trying to think. Maybe she was 15, maybe she's 15, and it's the episode where the Chloe Sevigny like masturbates under a table in a coffee shop, and we're watching the show, and the scene starts, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to just run and shut it off like a panicked dad, like she can't handle it. It'll probably be like 7 seconds.
Yeah.
And it goes on. And it's a really long scene. And I just had to turn to my daughter and go, I'm really uncomfortable right now. I should be shutting this. But
it's funny you say that because that's exactly what happened last night. I'm thinking, all right, how long can she possibly moan for?
Exactly.
He's distracted, and then about 10, 15 seconds of moaning, I'm like, oh, fuck, all right, I got to turn this down.
But you got to give them a better, because they don't understand at 5. Just give them a different reason. Like, what's wrong with her? Oh, she has cancer. Keep it like
just get you everything. He never looked up, but I was like, I gotta do the right thing. But I went back and turned up the volume and watched it again, just so you know.
I did.
I did that.
Well, that makes you debate, like, is masturbation bad? Should my family understand what this is?
Yeah. You know what I really?
Everyone does it.
I think it's a future. I don't think it's the first episode, but when they're hanging around and just doing theme songs for movies, that's some nice writing right there, Judd. That was awesome when they're figuring out the song for Perfect Storm.
Yeah, they do this funny thing. I guess Paul Rudd does it in real life where they'll have like a party with all these guys who play instruments, and they try to write the theme song to movies that have no theme song. Like the closing title.
Wow, that's freaking brilliant.
I looked at that as a radio bit. I'm like, fuck, why don't we
That's
think
a
of that
brilliant
years ago?
bit.
Like the closing song to Carlito's Way. So the Perfect Storm.
You should have been nicer to Benny.
That's exactly it. They're sitting around just drinking beers and doing bong hits, trying to figure out the theme song for Perfect Storm. I really enjoyed that scene.
But would it happen with like Apocalypse Now? Like they had This Is the End, they had The Doors, but there's no theme written around it. So would they do it for movies that already had a song, or it had to be with no song at all?
I don't think they have very tight rules.
Okay. Yeah, I really am acting like this is a fucking official radio contest.
Someone comes up with a movie, they start laughing like, oh yeah, this would be perfect, and then they go with it.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
I think you got a nice show on your hands, Joe.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm glad.
It's on Netflix. It's called Love. What else about it? They did a lot of pot smoking, and dialogue's good.
When you write an episode, too, like you said, you write like this is an entire relationship. So will you get like, okay, I see this scene, I see that scene, or do you kind of go chronologically in your head, or can you jump from episode to episode, write a scene, okay, that'll be episode 7, or this will be earlier? How does your head work with that?
It's almost like, we do the same thing at Girls where you just get a big whiteboard and you list every character and then you just put the numbers of episodes across the top and you just slowly try to figure out like the arc of what would happen to them each season. And it's like a checkerboard that slowly gets filled in like, oh, then in episode 5, she needs to meet that guy. Then in episode 9, she punches him in the face. And then slowly it fills in. And then you change things as you write. But that's usually how it happens.
So it's a basic outline. So this way you're not writing in episode 1, okay, and then she goes to Zimbabwe. And you're like, no, that's stupid.
Yeah.
I'm cutting out all this stuff.
Exactly.
Okay.
I mean, especially even more with a Netflix show, I think you're thinking, oh, people are watching like 5 of these in a row, and you have to think about the experience of sitting there watching 5, because if episode 2 and 3 feel very similar, you go, oh, that wouldn't be fun. It has to, it has to be like evolving and changing, but being the part of one organic thing. And I've never thought that way before, so it's been interesting because I'm a fan of it. Like I love Narcos, and there's a lot of these shows that I will.
So you got to start thinking that people are binge watching, and you have to put it together in a different way.
Well, that's why FX is again. That's the only way they can do it. This OJ stuff.
Yes, I've seen
really
6 of them.
Yes,
so have we. You like it, right?
It's really good. I mean, I always feel bad watching things like that because I know it's real. I live like right around the corner from all of it. Like that's exactly where I live. And I feel bad that like it's become light entertainment.
That's what Breuer was saying.
Yeah, Breuer.
That's what he was saying
So
when
I
we first
started
started
off. Like if that's my sister,
yes,
or if that's someone in my family, I don't want Hollywood making money off that shit. Even though I know it's entertaining, it pisses me the fuck off.
Yeah, I think
it just pisses me off. It's dark and dirty.
It's tough, but the difference between me and you is I still will enjoy every second of it.
Right.
I'll watch it. I'll know it's wrong, and I can write an essay why it's wrong.
But at least you said it.
But I do have that feeling. But it is part of our history, and it is about larger issues in Los Angeles and race in California
and the trial. It's more about the trial and what they went through. I'm interested to see what these attorneys went through. All these giant ego attorneys. But watching it week to week is going to be hard, like because you're so used to Netflix now, where a show like Love comes on, you watch them. It's hard to wait another week.
You get mad now.
Yeah,
like when a new show comes on, you're like, I gotta wait. And I think some people will wait to the end
and then
to binge it, so the ratings get all screwed up because people are just waiting. But it's very well done, and John Travolta as Shapiro is hysterical.
I fucking love him.
Shapiro didn't act like that at all, by the way.
Oh, he didn't?
He's like a real kind of almost like a. Like he had like kind of a tough edge to him. He's playing it very, very kind of like trippy light, but it's an amazing performance. It's really fun to watch.
When he first hits, he took me out of it a little bit. I had to get used to him as Shapiro at first, but I'm liking it. Whose performances you really liking this?
I mean, Sarah Paulson as Marsha Clark is incredible. She is. It's so fun to watch, and I remember that from the trial. I was only, I was writing and I guess I wasn't even doing stand-up then. But the year of the OJ trial, I was just home. And I saw every second, literally every second of the trial. And I remember that feeling like, oh, these are two, not young people, but they're not like these mega rich lawyers.
Yeah.
And this is about like two scrappy people who aren't getting paid much money, who don't have this life, trying to beat the powerful dream team. And you felt for them like, come on, you can get this point across. And then they just got beaten at every turn. And what's interesting in that the miniseries is when OJ's doing the freeway chase and he's got the gun to his head, we all forgot that at that moment we were like, well, obviously he did it. If you didn't do it, you don't like drive around in your car with a gun to your head and with money and a mask and stuff.
Well, I can disagree with that, but go ahead.
And that all got tossed. I mean, if that didn't get tossed, it wasn't in the trial. He probably would have been convicted. You would assume.
No,
maybe not.
No, the jury didn't want to convict him. I think what happened was that wouldn't have made any difference because he just didn't want to get railroaded by the police. That would have been the way they sold it to themselves. I think the jury just didn't. I think they wanted an out. And I think that there were so many mistakes with evidence handling, even though we all knew he was guilty. It's almost like it was giving them the excuse. It's like it gave them the excuse they went to go. There was room for doubt.
Because there's that one detective who took some of the evidence home.
The shoes. He took the shoes home.
That's where they get
Ben
in trouble.
Adder or Dennis Fung didn't handle things well.
They're like, did you ever take the evidence home before? And he's like,
no.
Oh, God. Not your whole life?
Yeah.
Just that day?
And Furman hurt them, too. Furman hurt them a lot because, and Chris Darden was right, don't put this guy in the... So they made a lot of mistakes. The glove not fitting.
The glove not fitting is a biggie. And then Marcia Clark and them are just in shock. Like, why would you tell them to try to put the glove on differently?
Could you put the glove on? Like, what? Why would...
And then
why would you
OJ had plastic on his hand to begin with, so that would make it a little tighter fit. But they couldn't work out of that one.
It's like Furman became the most successful of all of them.
He really did.
He was just like a confident guy who just afterward had no issue just being out in the public, being that guy.
Yeah.
And then when he writes novels or no true crime books, is that what he writes?
Oh, I don't even know.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
I haven't followed him much. But I was only saying that it's weird to watch something that way as opposed to Netflix. I have no desire to wait a week. Like I want to watch things in a row, binge watch them.
Yeah.
But do we appreciate them as much that way? I don't know.
I like that when Girls is on, you got to debate it for a week and, talk about what you liked and what shocked you. And I feel like, and Sopranos was like that. It would have been bad to bang through Sopranos. I think we all needed to think about what happened.
Yeah.
We were saying this the other day. Remember, the season would end and you knew you had over a year.
Absolutely. There'd be a new president in office by the time it came back on.
It was way over a year sometimes, like 18 months.
Brutal.
Can you imagine that in this day and age?
That was the longest one.
Now,
crazy.
For a show on network, it's like you wait from like May to September, October. Our show drops in February and then next February. So, and if you watch it in 1 day or 2 days, you're really waiting a year. It's not spread out over watching it over 4 months.
We were talking to Bill Breuer about F is for Family, and he's like, I worked for years on this, and you could swallow the whole thing up in a weekend. Does that bother you that you put all this time and effort in, and people are watching it within maybe 2-3 days tops?
I think that I have a larger issue, which is there's so much of everything. Sometimes I feel like I shouldn't do anything. Like I feel like everyone is eating everything so fast, and I don't know if it's in my head or not. I was watching these documentaries about Mike Nichols, and they were talking about The Graduate, and that really stuck with us all. I mean, we've talked about it for 45 years, and I don't know if we will ever do that again about anything. And I go, what's the point? Even if you love it, if you forget about it 2 days later, for me to put in that much work, but that's our job. I mean, but it's weird. It's weird that, like my kids, if they like a band, they'll go online and in one night listen to every song they ever recorded and then never do it again. That's it.
Right.
That's it. So I don't know.
Like if it's not going to resonate for 30 years, it's almost like it doesn't feel like it's worth it. But then again, more people will see it immediately than would have seen it at one point, so maybe it all balances out. I don't know.
A little bit, but as far as music goes, when we were growing up, you had to wait and build up your money to go to the record store to get another album to listen to, and not these kids, man. Like
my whole childhood, I think by the end of my childhood, I might have had 80 records. After 13 years in school. It was like that wide.
About a foot of records.
And
a milk.
That's about
it.
Maybe
Chicago Greatest Hits, Linda Ronstadt, greatest kind of hip record.
Wow, do we have different records?
I didn't see that coming either, Jimbo.
But yeah, you would play them over and over, and I just bought a turntable for the first time since I was like 17.
Does it sound different? Because you get like people that say, yeah, it does, no, it doesn't. Can you hear the difference, or do you just like the nostalgia of it?
I don't know, because I never had good speakers since I was 17. So I don't know if it's the speakers or the turntable, but it is and I bought a really good system. I hadn't had one in ever. And, you put on a Led Zeppelin record and you go, wow, it really sounds like they're in the room when you have the sound right. And I don't know what part of it is that.
So you had somebody come in and do it for you, right, and fix it the way you wanted it, and acoustically?
I was at Jim Carrey's house, and he had this stereo system, and it sounded amazing, and I just said, I'm just going to get that. I'm so dumb, I would never figure out what to do.
Right.
So I just said, okay, I'll get what he has, and it's been great. But you forget, like, each side's 20 minutes, and I got to get up, like, you're constantly, you're all used to this loop that never
turning over.
Right. So what album sounded better on vinyl than it did on?
I told you, I never used to listen to Radiohead, ever. I don't know, I just didn't get into it. Then you put it on with a good sound system, and you just go, I think I understand what everyone's talking about. But yeah, a lot of the old stuff. There's old Queen albums you put on, and you can't believe how good they sound.
Radiohead, The Bends is one of my favorite albums of all time.
Yeah.
You've gone through that, I'm sure. By
all that stuff, In Rainbows.
It's amazing. I got into Radiohead late, too. Way late. But
I'm not that smart. It takes me a while on certain things.
I'm always late.
Yeah.
I discovered the Ramones 2 years ago. Yeah. I really did. I should be fucking beheaded.
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, We're a Happy Family is a great song. But once in a while, you just,
In 15 years, you're going to hear the Buzzcocks for the first time.
Who are the I've heard of them. Marin hosted, there was a show called Nevermind the Buzzcocks.
Yes.
Not connected, or is?
No, not connected.
All right.
I don't think so.
Cool. So I don't know TV or music.
Yeah. Hey, how's Amy doing? She's gone through a little shit lately. And we were on it. Jimmy got to interview her.
Oh yeah, I listened to that.
And she defended her points.
It's a funny thing. I mean, because Amy and I talked about it. I talked about this with Lena before Girls aired. There's just a cycle of build up and then attack in the media, because you can only praise people for so long, and almost out of boredom, it all shifts to looking for something. Sure. And it's the most ridiculous issue ever. I mean, as comedians, we've seen every joke. There's not a night I'm at the Comedy Cellar where I can't trace premises to other people, whether they saw it or not. I mean, there's only so many things to talk about and ways to say it, and we all come from the same media culture. And so there's definitely like moments of overlap. I remember Fred Stoller being really mad at me because I did a bit about my phone having a speed dial. You used to have like 10 speed dials on your phone. And so I had some joke, this is like 91, about how I didn't have enough friends to fill my speed dial. And so it would be like, 3 friends and mom, dad, 911, 411, operator. And it wasn't a great joke. And then Fred Stoller, it wasn't a great joke. That's a good
Fred
joke
came at you.
It's a good joke for 91. But I remember Fred Stoller walking up to me and saying, I have a can't fill my speed dial joke. And he was furious. And
that alone is funny.
Yeah.
Well, Fred funny.
Fred furious is much more low energy. But that thing, it's impossible to avoid. In a TV room, if you're trying to write a sitcom, I could trace every sitcom episode to something from The Simpsons. Any joke I think any comedian tells or any show says, I can find you that joke on one of the hundreds of Simpsons. So it's very tricky, and we're all obsessively trying not to do it.
Right.
But there's certainly some parallel thinking. And what I thought was most interesting is Amy has been on TV so much. She's appeared in so many places. I mean, I've watched her. She writes thousands and thousands of jokes. She's one of the great joke writers I've ever seen. And it took them so much searching to find 4 tiny things that didn't seem like they would connect in any real way to stealing. It's so far from stealing, it's crazy.
Well, I'll say, when you heard about Carlos,
yeah,
everybody in the entire community would always say, yeah, of course he does it. He steals. And I at first I didn't see it. I don't pay attention to anyone. Like, no, this guy steals. He steals. He steals. And then finally, years later, it came out.
Right.
I've never heard that about Amy whatsoever. That was the first time. And I got to say, like, I looked at some of the jokes and like, that's a little vague.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a little vague. I've never heard that about Amy at all.
Yeah, you get a reputation as a comic, and you know, kind of comedians kind of know each other, like you said, long before something becomes public. At least comics, whether they would admit it or not, talk.
Right.
Or you know what I mean? And it's like I would know it to myself if I ever heard anything like that.
You guys would have been thinking it way before this hit,
Without
obviously.
a doubt. Yeah, I think so. I mean, unless all of us would just didn't. How could all of us not see it? Doesn't make any sense to me. Not with comedians.
We're bitchy old ladies.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
Care about so and so.
And also having sat in rooms with Amy for years now, and on the set to see how fast she is and how inventive. There's that scene in the opening of Trainwreck where the guy takes his pants down and he has a big dick. And we have this on the Blu-ray where she's just making jokes about how big his dick is. And for like an hour, Amy's just both writing during breaks and riffing so many jokes. I think the one she uses is... have you ever had sex before, and where is she buried? I mean, that's as good a joke as you're going to get. So I've just seen it so up close that she's just one of the great joke writers of all time.
I'm getting a lot of shit lately, by the way. People are saying that I'm fucking doing this thing. It's like the 7 words you shouldn't say on YouTube. And people are like, man.
Have you ever had an issue with that when you're writing your movies where someone will come to you and go, Judd,
yes,
you know, this was done before?
Yes.
Always. I mean, I think that's the process.
And it's not frustrating because you know, oh my God, this is my thing, and now I can't use it because someone really knows it from this past movie.
Yes, we've had to kill things. In fact, in Bridesmaids, there's this whole sequence where they go to Vegas, and Kristen Wiig and Annie Mumolo wrote this really funny sequence where they go to a male strip club, and it had an amazing joke in it where, like, they put Kristen Wiig on a chair, and the guy's dancing above her and shaking his balls above her, and one drop of sweat in slow motion falls off of his shorts into her mouth. And it was an incredible sequence. It was so funny, but it was like 20 minutes of the movie in Vegas, and then she makes out with some guy who turns out to be a college student, and we had hired Brie Larson to play his girlfriend, and then Kristen Wiig was supposed to get in a fist fight with this college girl. But then The Hangover came out, and something else in Vegas, and we just said, everybody's in Vegas now, and we just did get him to the Greek in the first half's in Vegas, and so we just cut it all out of the movie and replaced it with the scene on the plane where they won't let her visit first class.
Right. It was a great scene.
So, yeah, it happens all the time.
What a pain.
It's frustrating, yeah. I fucking had to scrap a movie idea. I was so irritated.
What was it, Jimmy?
It's embarrassing now.
Yeah?
It's called Apocalypse in a Little Bit. And it's been done.
We got Stone Cold outside the studio as well. Are you sticking around? What's your schedule? You
I'm
busy
here
today,
until
Judd?
someone pulls me out, but I think I'm here for a little bit.
Okay.
What do you want? You want to bring in Stone Cold?
He's over there. He wants to come here.
What's that?
Do you like wrestling?
I'm a friend of Mr. Cena's.
Oh, okay. Well, then bring him in.
He was really, really good in Trainwreck. John Cena killed us.
It was a little crazy how funny he was, and annoying in some way. When you bring in a guy that's that good, and you want to teach him, and then he doesn't need anything.
Yeah, it's frustrating when a guy is really good looking and an alpha and talented and fun. It's like, oh, fuck.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Hello, Steve.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, gang. How are you?
Fuck, you're in great shape still, you son of a bitch.
I feel like I just got off the holidays. Me and my stupid buddy Ted Fowler were drinking about a half-gallon of tequila every day.
Really?
I think I'm still detoxing off that. No one light a match, I may go up in flames.
You know Judd Apatow.
How are you, sir?
Hey, man, how are you?
Nice to see you.
Nice to meet you. Hey, big fan.
Thanks, buddy.
And Jim Breuer.
All right,
Jim,
Steve.
how are you?
That's good, man. How are you?
Outstanding.
Yeah. What's going on with you today?
I'm still on Pacific Coast time, so I'm not a morning person. So I'm trying to snap out of it.
It's not
having
fun.
a hard time.
Did you just fly in yesterday?
Yeah, and everything was great. I slept the whole time. Then the pilot woke me up malfunction out there on the wing, crawled out with a pair of pliers between my teeth. Fixed the engine, probably saved 250 people. Another day at the office, right?
Yeah.
Bam. So I'm here talking to you guys.
What are you doing in New York?
We're talking about the Broken Skull Challenge. It's the toughest show on television.
Yes.
Spreading the word, creating a little bit of awareness.
A little buzz.
Jim, you got to get out there on the Broken Skull Challenge. We'd love to have you.
I'd love to be a part of it. Anything with a camera in front of it, you know me.
What are you out here pushing, Jim?
Broken Skull Challenge.
I love it.
I'm here. Forget about my thing. We're just promoting your thing right now. Now, what do I have to do to be part of it? What happens?
But it's great, the different names. Judd's got Love, and you have the Broken Skull. Talk about different men.
We love this, right?
Yeah.
He's got a Netflix show called Love, which is really good. I saw the first 4 episodes.
And it's about relationships and just how they develop.
And break up.
Yeah.
And
I'm a sensitive man.
I am too. Hell, I've been through, don't want to see 3 divorces.
No.
Have you really?
Wow. Love.
That's what love will do to you.
Yeah.
Love and broken
Get your
skulls.
bank account.
3 times.
I'm done.
You're done.
Yeah,
You finally decided
I'm
you're
in
done.
love.
finally
I'm in
figured it
love. I'm
out.
a Judd.
So what happens on the show? I'm fascinated.
Yeah.
Broken Skull Challenge. Sundays at 8 o'clock, by the way. Was it CMT is country?
CMT, Country Music
Country
Television.
Music Television, okay.
Yep.
What kind of challenges are there?
Man, there's all kinds of challenges.
Yeah.
And each week we bring 8 people out there. You know, we shoot the men out first, and then we shoot the women. And 8 people, 3 rounds of competition. If you win, you go to the next round. If you lose, you go home. You don't get squat. We ain't got no parting gifts. Yeah. If you win, you're the last person standing. The next day, you come back to take on the toughest obstacle course in the world. It's called the Skull Buster.
Nice.
Call it the Skull Buster because it's designed to whoop a man's ass.
Yeah.
It will chip away at every different part of your body and make you wish you would have stayed home. So it's absolutely epic. We set the table for these athletes to come out here. And I've got some of the best obstacle course racers in the world, CrossFit people, national champion, amateur wrestlers, MMA people, some pro wrestlers. And, man, it's just off the wall.
Sounds perfect for me.
Brutality. It's right up your alley.
You're going to do it, Jim?
No, I'm not going to do
Why?
it.
There's
Because
a
I
camera
can't.
there.
That's not my world. I know that. I admire people that can do that. I'm not a very athletic. I mean, you look at me and you think, obviously, I do this a lot, but I don't.
You work hard to get that.
Exactly.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, he's basically saying that I've really spent 3 years looking like the tub lady in The Shining. And he's not wrong.
No, I hate all exercise, and it's not even like
You hate
the
all exercise.
I
find it hard to believe.
counting. Like I don't even like counting in the workout. It's not even the physical part.
I stopped counting. I just pick up a weight, do it a couple times. When it feels good, just put it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or when it gets heavy, put it down.
Do you still do it all the time, every day?
Well, yeah, I'm trying to. Like I said, I'm trying to drop about 15 pounds. I put on drinking all that tequila.
Over the holidays.
Over the holidays, but that's what holidays are for.
Yeah, you
Have you
You can't
done the
lose sight of
challenge?
that.
Right. Huh?
You train like a bastard all year to get in impeccable shape, and then you blow it over the holidays.
Right.
That's a good question, though. Have you done the challenge?
I've done a few of the challenges in slow motion.
Okay.
Here's the thing. People say, hey, Steve, you were a badass in the world of pro wrestling. Do you do the Skull Buster? And be like, well, no, the Patriots are out of the playoffs now, but it's not, you'd be like asking Bill Belichick, the greatest coach of all time, arguably, hey, Bill, you going to get out there and quarterback the Patriots to a victory? You know, Tom Brady may put him on the sideline. No, he's out there to come up with a game plan and, rally the team and try to beat the other team. So basically what I do is coach these guys up. They come up with their own strategy, turn them loose, and motivate them.
But you don't actually do the challenge. You're
I
like
ride
the
around.
Sandusky.
Yeah, but Jim, I ride around on a Kawasaki mule right behind him on the Skull Buster and yell at him, "Go faster! You're doing great!" Stuff like that, encouraging stuff.
Someone got lazy in the last few years. Stone Cold got lazy.
It's a great. Would you rather walk down a hill or ride down in a UTV?
Fair enough.
Right.
I'd rather help someone else down.
Are you ever going to wrestle? Are you ever going to wrestle again?
I got no business in a wrestling ring. I had a good time doing that job. You know, last match I had was in 2003. I got
Wow, is it that long ago now?
Yeah, it took me about 3 years to get out of my system because I love that business. That was what I wanted to do with my life. And boy, after about 3 years of hunting, fishing, and drinking and making bad decisions, I figured it's time to go out to L.A. and start doing some work out there. And I'm done. I got nothing to prove.
What makes guys come back? Like, after years of being out of it, you hear about, they say GSP is coming back to MMA. It's like, is it just you can't handle not doing it anymore? You missed the ritual
I've been able to. It took me a while. I always thought, because, like, when you're in a business pro wrestling, the schedule is such a grind, and you're kind of living three different lifestyles. One, you're living as a pro athlete, because what you do in the ring is hard. Then you're training in the gym. And then you got the rock star part of it, because, hey, man, everybody wants to hang out with you. There's everything available. Then on the other hand, you're a truck driver. You're driving yourself. You're flying, catching all these damn vehicles to get to your shows. So, man, it takes a lot out of you.
That's what I find amazing about your old business, that only a few of you guys got to get on the private planes with the boss, and everyone else had to drive themselves around, carpooling. Mick Foley's a good friend of ours. He tells the stories where he would fucking sleep on the couch of fans' houses.
Well, Mick used to be one of my travel partners.
He's very cheap.
Yeah.
We like to save
a dollar.
We like to use the word frugal.
Frugal.
But, yeah, me and Mick were two of the cheapest guys in the history of the business, but I never hitched a ride with any of the fans to go to the shows.
He did.
Mick did, yeah, but he was notorious for that.
When he was one of the biggest stars in the WWE, he would do this.
That's why he still has money.
And he would sleep on people's couches.
Yeah.
How do you trust someone?
He did. Well, I mean, but look at Mick, and he's a dear friend of mine. But you're not gonna fuck with Mick. I mean, he's a sweetheart, but he looks like he's crazy.
Yeah, he's a problem.
I didn't know you were frugal as well.
Do what?
I didn't know you were frugal.
Oh, legendary. Ask Mick, ask any of the boys. Yeah, man, I know how to save a dollar.
Give us one example of being frugal. Besides the travel show.
Like one time, I think it was back in the heyday, and we flew into Vegas. All the boys were staying at the same hotel. I rented like a Geo Metro. It was like a bigger version of their hatchback for $15 a day. I rolled up in front of the hotel in this brown piece of shit, and I did it as a rib. And the guys are looking at me like, this guy's making $1 jillion. He's driving that hunk of shit. So it was stuff like that. And back in the day when Kevin Nash and myself were in WCW, we would purposefully go out of our way to stay at the biggest shitholes we could find just as a rib. Right. So just stuff like that.
Well, you should have bed bugs? That's why I'm like a prima donna.
But this was pre-bed bugs. Bed bugs didn't exist back in those days, Jim. They're kind of like this new thing that's how all of a sudden they got started. What, did these bed bugs just start?
Yeah, we don't have
them. They're being brought in.
But bed bugs have been a phenomenon over, the last 10 years. They've really caught on. So I was in the business before the bed bugs, different kind of bed bugs, came around.
Yeah. Do you spend money, or are you one of those guys that always panics about it being taken away, too?
Well, I have found that, money does not make you happy because there really is nothing to buy. All I ever buy is books, CDs, and DVDs. And I can't even think of anything to do with it.
Oh, so you're not like a big get extravagant shit guy.
I know. I bought it. The only thing I ever did that was done with money is when 40-Year-Old Virgin hit, I got a Porsche. I leased a Porsche. I drove it twice, and I got scared of it because it only really drove well if you were driving like 90 miles an hour. Right. And I left it in my garage for 2 years. And I realized, that's like the jackass made some money move, but it wasn't fun. Although I guess people enjoy their cars.
They do, but
it scared me. It was like I felt like this is a death machine. I'm gonna die in this.
Are you a buyer's remorse guy? Like I buy stuff. I'm very compulsive, and I'm like, why did they waste my money on that? I didn't want it.
I hoard. Like I'll go to a bookstore and buy like 20 books at a shot. It convinces me I'll never die, so I just keep buying books and keep buying books. I don't read any of them.
Where do you live? Do you live in L.A. or New York?
I live out in Santa Monica, and I actually think that buying books is enough. Like, it makes you smarter. I won't even crack them. And my kids notice it. Like, Dad, I see all your books. They've never been opened.
Right.
But if I see something interesting, I'll just buy it.
And you can't throw them out. It's like keeping them. Why do you keep
tape?
them?
Yeah. I'm all about books on tape recently.
But I don't listen to them.
Yeah, at the gym.
I've been trying to get into that because I'll get a new book and something will intrigue me. Like the last one is The Death of WCW. And so it's been sitting on my desk for I don't know how long, and I'll see another book and, I say, man, I got to get that book. I really want to read that. And my wife will look at me, she goes, Steve, you bought 5 books in the last 3 years and you ain't read none of them. And so I was like, no, listen to her. I ain't going to read it. So I've got to try the audio books or something.
If you're in the gym or something, it makes the time go by a little faster.
Yeah, but I like to have some headbanging shit on so I can crank
that's true, too.
What's the last book you read?
That's a good question. It was something to do with wrestling or something.
Yeah. For me, it was probably a biography. Someone we interviewed, I read half. Like, you read as much as you can as you go along, and then as soon as the interview's done, I'm
then you don't read the rest of the book.
George the Animal Steel autobiography.
Yeah.
You're serious. I was like, fuck, I'd love to read that.
What the Shoemaker's book? David Shoemaker. He wrote about a lot of wrestlers dying or something like that. I brought that book with me on this tour, but I was on an airplane yesterday morning. It was like a 6-hour flight.
Right.
I slept the whole way.
That's a depressing book to read.
Yeah. Well, no, that's why I've had it for like 3 years and haven't read it yet.
You probably know most of the guys in the book.
Yeah.
Why would you read that?
Oh, I just want to see what his spin on it was.
Oh, okay.
There's a new documentary about Jake the Snake.
I loved it.
Yes.
I
Did you
loved
see
it.
it?
I haven't seen it. Is it
Yeah,
great?
it's
It was pretty good, man.
It's very good, yeah.
Because he was in that other documentary, wasn't he? The one about wrestling that was like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Beyond
the Mat.
Oh, Beyond the Mat. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I liked it. They did a pretty good job.
They did a good job, and then they based that movie, The Wrestler, off of it. And then I remember, I was sick, and I went to the theater in Santa Monica. That was the last movie I've seen inside a theater. And just because I was sick and in a gray mood to begin with, I was like, man, that movie sucked. But then after I was able to digest it and watch the way Aronofsky shot it, it's like it did a kick-ass job on that. Mickey Rourke was awesome in that movie. So it was a great movie. But, yes, it was basically loosely based on, what Jake's life was on the road.
Right.
But the resurrection of it, if you haven't seen it, it's awesome. It's a great documentary.
Did you have any concussion issues? We've been talking about that so much with this OJ thing happening, all these ball players that get fucked up.
The CTE.
Yeah. Man, I tell you what, the game of football starts to disturb me, now, because the game is played out in so much space. I think everybody is, running full speed. It's not like the game used to be. Don't get me wrong, guys were getting lit up back in the day, playing football, but now more so. And these days when these guys are taking their shots, I mean, they're starting to convulse and get shark eyes and all kinds of crazy stuff. I think maybe only 2 or 3 concussions in a ring, because I think if you're concussion prone in the business of pro wrestling, you're doing something wrong.
Right.
Because you should be a flat back landing. I got dropped on my head one time. That was probably one of them in that bad pile driver incident. But no, man, concussions in wrestling. Well, back in the day when guys were taking all those chair shots and not putting up their hands, that can light you up. But by and large, I think you're doing something wrong if you got a bunch of concussions in that business.
So it's not a major problem.
I don't think it is.
It's a
Someone
major
else
problem.
might tell you there is.
It's a major problem in football.
Their heads are getting banged.
Dude, I don't know what they're going to do.
I don't know what
they're
going to do
they've
either.
over-equipped the game. Well, you can make they've over-equipped the game. I mean, you get these gladiators, and the guys are all bigger, faster, stronger than they used to be. And you can make the helmet as good as you can, but it's still the brain hitting inside the skull, stopping, and it is what it is.
There's no way to stop the brain from moving.
Then moving around in there. We're being told Judd has to go.
Come on, Judd. Stick around for a while.
I got to get on that Broken Skull challenge.
I will
I'm trying to get the invite. It's not happening. There's got to be kind of
Santa
like a
Monica.
nerdy
I'm
guy
going to track you
version.
down. I'm right down the road from you in Marina Del Rey. Don't think
Yeah,
I'm
we
gonna
can do
find
the
you.
broken sweat challenge.
Quick question, though. The HBO show, when's that going to hit? It's called, what is it called again? It's called Crashing, right?
Crash with Pete Holmes.
The Pete Holmes show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we started shooting it in May. And it went really great. And the big guest star in the first episode is Artie Lang, who was unbelievable, like really funny and a fantastic actor. I don't think he had been acting in about 14 years and just
killed it.
Killed it.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
So that'll be probably next year.
It's a little ways down the road.
And we got a Pee Wee Herman movie in March on Netflix, which is also came out great. It's like a big Pee Wee Herman movie, like what you wish there was another one of. He just made.
Oh,
and
wow!
So
I'm excited about that.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, we gotta check that
All right,
out.
well, thank you for having me.
But Love is on Netflix. Like I said, I saw the first 4 episodes right on. Judd's got another.
Is it available
another hit.
now, or is it, when's it
I
coming?
don't know.
February 19th.
Oh, okay. We got a little ways
And the
to wait.
new season of Girls are the same week.
Great.
I know you're going to watch that.
We're gonna take
You're
quick,
damn right I am.
We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll continue with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stay there.
We're back with Opie and Jim.
Stone Cold Steve Austin in studio. Does a fine podcast, by the way. This guy knows how to talk. But I mean, most of you wrestlers know how to talk. But you're one of the elites. You always were on the mic. It was you and The Rock was really good. And who else would I put in?
I'd put Mick Foley up there.
Mick Foley's up there.
CM Punk was awesome.
CM Punk was awesome. Right. Let's finish out the top 5. One more on
I
that
mean, you got to
list.
go. If you go back and you watch some old Jerry Lawler stuff, you got to throw Jerry Lawler
great.
as a talent when he was wrestling, and as a commentator now that he's gone back to some of his heel ways on the SmackDown show.
Did you ever, when you were doing one of those, did you ever just totally bomb? Like, oh boy, this is falling apart. The wheels are coming off immediately.
Yes, when you first start, and they stick a microphone in your face, and like you don't really know who and what your character is, or your persona, and you're green. It'd be like doing a stand-up thing when you're green, and he's like, oh man, I'm shitting the bed here. So, but you got to have you got to get to the plate and take some swings because that's the only way you get experience. And they want to script everything these days. But I'll tell you what, there's no better way to learn than going out there and falling on your face a couple of times, and then it's like, hey, well,
You got to give us one. Do you remember one line that you worked on and you're like, I know this is fucking going to kill, and it just fucking laid an egg?
No, I remember one time I came late to a show where we were doing a Monday Night Raw, and I had a pre-tape interview. No, it was a live interview in a hallway with Vince. And I got turned around, and I was always an early bird. I'm a time fanatic. I'm never late. And so all of a sudden we go into this promo, and I get lost, and I drop an F-bomb. And that's taboo. I can drop a lot of language on TV, but that's one of the ones you stay away from. But Vince jumped right in because he's such a pro and picked me up. And so I can't exactly remember the promo, but it was just like dead dog tired from being on the road. I was late, frustrated, didn't know what we was talking about, and there was Vince to pick me up.
What was your go-to? Would you have a go-to, like if things aren't going well, like a stand-ups, you have like a certain thing you'll go to or a certain technique to get out of it? Was there a go-to thing when you're like, this is going poorly, I know I got to do this now?
No, because I was always listening to the crowd, and you know, man, if you're not listening to the crowd, man, you're missing out on everything.
Yeah.
And so if they're tuned in, and if I can get them, people always say, man, Steve, we wish you wouldn't have never invented the what chant. Well, if you speak at a cadence and don't put the pause in there to give them the what, they can't do it. So, you know, if I got lost or things weren't on track, if I just started pausing, they'd come with that what, then I'd work off that, start naming off a bunch of liquor, you know, give them the old razzmatazz that way.
Right.
But it was always listening to the crowd, knowing where I had them. But I always had material.
You did.
But I mean, and it wasn't because I went out there with it. I just make it up on the fly.
I'm fascinated with how wrestling is able to keep the stories going and constantly change. It's like Days of Our Lives. Like these things, they happen every day. There's so much work and so many storylines, and you just keep managing to branch off, to create new characters. It's amazing, like the longevity and just how much they can do.
Okay.
No, just with social media and the way everything is sped up so fast these days, it's hard to get a slow burn on everything and get these long-lasting angles that can last, you know, more than just from pay-per-view to pay-per-view. And then that 3-hour, you know, Raw, I mean, that's such a long period of time to do one show of live television. That's hard.
And is there a head writer that works on most of these guys now, or does each event have different people?
There was. I mean, and they cycle those guys in and out. And it always seems like they draw from people that come from like a comedy background. And I'm like, man, this ain't funny. If we're trying to draw money, it ain't funny. So it should be some serious shit. But nonetheless, I'm not real up to speed with the writing staff, but they have a bunch of them. And back in the day, I remember stories when Vince and Pat Patterson would be at Vince's mansion in Greenwich by the swimming pool, and, you know, they always wrote everything in a pencil because you could erase things that, you know, guys dropped out or something happened or, no, let's change this. So it was a pencil and a pad. And they booked the territory. So in booking the territory, you'd write TV, but it would be matches, promos, and everybody else would fill in the blanks. These days, they fill in the blanks for everybody, and it's very produced.
Right.
And it's the level of spontaneity is not what it used to be.
I agree with you. That's when I started tapping out, when you guys started retiring. The spontaneity you guys had was incredible. You knew you were just making a whole chunks of your mic time up on the spot.
And it's interesting because, you know, when Vince would go out there and we were feuding, or if it was myself and The Rock, who were great chemistry in the ring, or Bret Hart, hey, man, he'd go out there and say something and be like, if I'm having a conversation with Jim, hey, based on what I tell you and we're building a match and I run you down, I'm going to give you props. It's going to be in business. You're just going to listen to what I say and give it right back to me. That only makes sense, right?
Right.
Because that's what we're doing here. Same thing with the promo. You're trying to build a match and you spin off what each other's saying. So these days with too much memorization going on, it's like you see in the eyes, it's like, okay, I think I'm getting all my lines in. That's not selling tickets. You got to feel that shit.
Right.
You can't say it.
But it's also hard to find those type of guys that could do that.
But, you know, true. But if you go out there through, you know, sink or swim, once you fall a few times, you learn to pick your ass up. It's survival of the fittest.
Right.
So what would you do if you were doing it back and forth with some guy and he was awful? I'm sure you had those too, where you were so much better. Would you try to pick that guy up, or were there times where there's like, I can not help this guy? He's horrible.
Yeah, there is a
Depends if you like him.
You can always make chicken salad out of chicken shit. You always can. You know.
But I'd rather hear about the other side where you just didn't like the guy and he's fucking, you know, he's failing basically, and you just let him die in front of everybody. I know you guys did that from time to time.
No.
Don't tell me you did it.
No, man, but you want to pick the guy up, and then if you got to take the biggest part of the promo, then you do.
Yeah.
But and they try to put steps in place so that does not happen.
All right.
Where you're not going to just, it's going to be 90% you and 10% them if they're not
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I mean, last time I went out there, I was just going to do a podcast. I think I was there to interview Brock Lesnar. And they said, well, hey, all of a sudden they got a text message. We want you to open the show. And they say, are you ready for Raw? Give me a hell yeah. Are you ready for WrestleMania? Give me a hell yeah. 32. I got Brock Lesnar coming up later, and now it's my pleasure to introduce The Undertaker. I'm like, and they wrote me a script for that. And I'm thinking, it's 4 fucking lines. You kidding me? So, I said my 4 lines and went backstage. It was kind of anticlimactic. You go out there, you get this gigantic pop, and then you got to spit out 4 generic lines. Hey, I could have went 20 minutes with that.
Why didn't you just do it?
Because you got these young kids back in the back, and it's all
you don't
about
want to give
them
up their
getting-
time.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
man, it's their time.
Hey, have you talked to Bret Hart? You mentioned him in there. He's fighting cancer, man.
Yeah,
Prostate.
I just heard about that.
Is he?
Prostate cancer.
Yeah, I gave Brett a call yesterday and left a message. And then he called me back and left a message. So, yeah, I have been in touch with him, and I wish him all the best. I love that guy, and I got so much respect for him. He truly is one of the best ever and an absolute artist in the ring, and I hold him in very high regard, and he's a very dear friend.
Do they know if it was something that he caught earlier, or they're not saying?
I don't know.
I haven't heard this.
This kind of just
stage or
hit
anything like
yesterday,
that.
right?
Yeah.
Scary.
One of the greatest moments ever in wrestling was Bret Hart and Vince McMahon. When he fucking knocked out Vince McMahon, and he walks out of the locker room all woozy.
Well, before that was on a screw job, but just that one time when he pushed him on his ass.
Yeah.
And he said, everybody in that goddamn dressing room knows I'm the best there is. I mean, that's when it's like, holy, this is real. This is a shoot. And so, like, everybody's eyes in the back were like this big. And that's when the people buy in.
Right.
Because it was a work, but it was real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they were talking behind closed doors, and Vince comes out all groggy because Bret Hart gave him a shot.
Well, it was a Montreal screw job, and, hey, but to his credit, Vince went in there because he was going to settle it man-to-man with him. Brett didn't want to drop that title, and he was mad. So, Vince basically, let him have that shot.
Right.
So, props to Vince for
taking the shot.
Yeah.
And
he didn't get rid of him after that, did he?
No.
Well, no, because, that's when he went down south. But, he cold-cocked his ass.
Right.
Yeah, he hit him with a shot.
Yeah, he lost his title in Canada.
Yep.
And
he didn't want to.
Did he know he had to lose it, or was it a surprise that they flipped it on him during the match?
Oh, yeah, it was a surprise. It was a screw job. Sean put Brett in his own finishing move, and the referee signaled for hey, that's it. He tapped out, but he didn't tap out.
Right.
And, boy, that's when Brett started going ballistic, throwing the monitors down, spitting Vince's eye, and he was mad. And I can understand him being mad. He got screwed.
He gave everyone great TV, though.
Oh, of course.
That was amazing TV.
But, man, I tell you what, and people think, it's a championship belt. It don't mean nothing. It's all fake. Bullshit, man. You take that belt very seriously.
Well, it's one of those things, I always wondered, if you knew in advance, just don't do it. Like, when actors die in a show, I would just refuse to die. Every time they shoot you, they're like, oh, he's gone. I would just go no, get me to the hospital. And they'd be like, cut, we can't use this, you fucking asshole.
I was reading rumors that I always get these stone cold Google alerts and said I was supposed to be in the Expendables 4. And I was allegedly killed off in the first one when Randy Couture shot me twice, kicked me in a lake of fire. And I'm thinking, first of all, I'm not going to be on number 4. Second of all, shooting me twice, kicking me in a lake of fire. That would be like going to the, maybe a emergency room visit, but no big deal. A couple third-degree burns.
Right.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I can come back from this.
I'm fine. I used to swim in the lake of fire when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Shit.
Hit an urgent care, get some Neosporin, some gauze, bam, I'm back at the house drinking beer.
Are you following this election? I see we have Donald Trump up on the screen here. What do you think of this whole circus?
Shit, man.
Not just Donald Trump. I mean, the whole fucking thing is a circus.
Oh, dude. Well, that's a circus. I thought he made it. If you want to talk tactics, and I don't really talk a whole lot of politics, but he screwed up when he showed in Iowa.
I agree.
So. You can't. If you're running for president and all of a sudden you got the chance to go out there and debate and you skip. Hey, man, if all of a sudden, and I think Megyn Kelly probably rubbed him the wrong way or whatever. That was his big beef.
Yeah.
And maybe he thought she was attacking him. Hey, man, if you can't handle Megyn Kelly, who's great at what she does, and all of a sudden you're across the table from a Putin or whoever, they're going to punk you out like nothing. So, yeah. I don't know. I thought a lot of what he said sounded good at the time, but at the end of the day, man, he's such a knee-jerk reaction kind of guy.
Yeah, you can't say, and again, I feel the same way. Like, I would vote for him, but you can't go, she's not fair. Like, even if you're right, just deal with it and make her look stupid.
And he's been dealing with everybody else. You can't handle her. All right?
But, you know, it's just some of things. I mean,
yeah, a skirt.
Yeah, come on.
I don't know. What about the other side? Because what was it? It was tied.
Bernie Sanders
and Hillary like 50-50. Did anybody win?
Hillary ended up
by 0.3 of a point.
Yeah.
Okay, she may be indicted by the FBI. With all the
I don't know what
security
the hell's
stuff.
going on.
Come
with all
on,
that.
dude. I mean,
those are the rumors.
Can you trust this person to run your country?
I don't trust any of them.
Who's your guy?
Are
you saying?
No.
I don't have one either, really.
I think it's hilarious Trump didn't show up. I think it's the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life.
But I think he messed up.
I think his fault. I don't follow politics. I don't give a shit.
Right.
So I stand from above.
Right.
I enjoy watching the circus. It makes me laugh that there's a candidate going, I ain't fucking debating. I'm out. I don't need to do this. And
then runs his own event.
And then runs his I'm doing my event over here.
Yeah.
And at the end, he doesn't lose any points. It's just, it's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling.
But Cruz beat him, and I think he would have won had he showed up. And now Cruz beat him. So, but they say he'll win New Hampshire.
It probably would have been a bit closer.
Yeah, they say Iowa does. Oh, what do I care? I'm
But
sorry.
I know
you hate it.
But like on the
get caught up
podcast,
in it.
I don't like to talk about politics because it's such a divisive thing. Yeah. And so if I'm trying to entertain somebody and take a load off their mind for an hour and a half on a podcast, I ain't going to start talking politics because I don't want to split the audience.
No politics, no religion.
No
it's
politics.
It's a general conversation in life.
Johnny Carson was the master of that. Remember Johnny Carson? You never knew where he stood politically. He'd make fun of the Republicans. He'd make fun of the Democrats. But he was very subtle about it. He was pretty fair.
Right.
And to me, that's the way you should be. That's the smart way to be. And I fail at that a lot, but I admire guys who are really smart about that.
We do try to find the silly shit, you know, and make fun of that and have some laughs over that.
Yeah, but Johnny Carson was the king.
Oh,
he was the best.
He was the man.
He really was great. Like, just to be able to have the entire country paying attention to you and not split them, like you just said, was miraculous.
And he would actually, you know, he'd laugh at his guest jokes. A lot of guys won't laugh at their. Put my shit over, man. I mean, help me. And Johnny would play right into that. He had that self-deprecating sense of humor. He was just a master, and he was so at ease.
And he would just sit there smoking cigarettes as he's
But
interviewing these
that's
guys.
back when smoking was kind of cool,
They
right?
would
But
be
now
drinking
it's
on
like,
set,
drinking,
having a nice little party.
And he would never try to top the guest. And he
That's what I'm
was
saying.
faster than most of them. A lot of these guys, like, you're setting up for something, you're going for 2 lines in a row, and after the first one, they kind of like they clunk in and fucking ruin it.
Yeah, and a lot of times you say something, they'll try to knock it over the park. It's like, hey, man, I'm working on something here, and then you just try to knock it out of the park on me. I wasn't really finished.
Yeah,
let me one up you because I'm the host of the show. Man, come on.
Yeah, his instincts were amazing. Watching him do that, and watching him laugh, and watching him like help somebody or just nudge when they needed the nudge, it was perfect to watch. And then you interview people on a podcast or on a radio show, and you're like, oh yeah, there really is a way to do that.
Yeah, he was a master.
Yeah,
a master at it. So, what else is going on with you, Stone Cold?
Man, shoot, man, I just had another show start on CMT, Redneck Island. It's on Thursdays.
What is that one?
Redneck Island. About Manhattan.
We go down to we go down to Georgia. I got a house on a lake. I got a Kawasaki jet ski. I'm out there for a month. And we bring in 24 people from the South. I like to call it like a countrified Olympics. It's kind of like, they go through these challenges, and if you lose these challenges, you get eliminated. It's off to, I think we're in our 2nd episode right now. And on Broken Skull, I think we're going into episode 5 or 6.
What kind of challenges?
Oh, man, just water-related. I mean, they're running off ramps, like this, a 200-foot ramp, and sliding off into this lake, and then they got to swim their ass off and get on these canoes and come back. Just crazy stuff. And there's booze everywhere. So, like, on one hand, I have, national caliber athletes at the Broken Skull Challenge. And then on the other end of that, I've got these hell-raising kids from the South. So it's the best of both worlds.
They'll do anything, those kids, right?
Absolutely.
Have you ever done any of that noodling?
What's that?
Where you catch the fish? What is it?
Man,
the catfish? What is it?
I like catfish.
Is it catfish?
It's catfish.
You put your arm down in these
Here's
holes.
the thing, man. You walk around the riverbank, and you're sticking your hand underneath the bank to try to just stick your hand in the mouth of a catfish and pull him out.
Yeah.
I mean, man, dude, there's water moccasins down there. There's all kinds of bullshit in there. I've never, ever, in all of my days, had the desire to do that. So, no, I've never done it.
I don't know how you would do that. How would you get how to get?
They're just
to
not
the point-
afraid.
To get to the point where you just
Yeah, it's-
you're trusting. There's
Right.
no. I mean, even the catfish going around your fucking arm would freak me out.
Here's what's wrong with that. In the best case scenario, a catfish bites your arm.
Right.
That's what you're looking for. That's the best thing that could happen to you in that moment is a giant fish grabs your arm with its fucking teeth. That's a terrible
And they
scenario.
don't even really have teeth, right?
Yeah. They got some like sandpaper teeth, a little bit bigger than
but
sandpaper,
still.
but still.
You don't know what the fuck's
I
under
ain't got
these
no
things.
desire to
Look at this guy. He doesn't give a fuck.
But see, look, there could be a water moccasin laying right there to bite his ass.
Right. I don't
To me, it's
understand
not,
that one.
I'm not a thrill seeker or
No.
an adrenaline junkie, and the last thing I'd want to do is be walking around in a bunch of muck. And then maybe some other guy was there before him and put some damn beaver trap at the bottom of the damn river, and he steps in that.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's bad.
84-pound catfish.
Wait, you're not an adrenaline junkie? That I'm surprised at.
No, well, I
Right,
mean, in the world of wrestling back in the day, that was a kind of adrenaline when your music hits and the crowd goes crazy and you got to entertain them. But to just go jump off a building and then pull a chute or something like that, Jim, no, not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
So when you get out of it, what do you do to make up for that lack of energy that you were putting out?
Well, it took me 3 years to get over that, so now I don't even miss it. But it's kind of like, I would imagine like very similar to you going on stage and you crush it with a great set, and then you're kind of high when you come off stage because you crushed it.
Yeah.
And so it takes a little bit of time to come down.
Yeah, it does take a little while after a good set. You're like, fuck, man, I felt so good, and now nothing I'm doing is comparing to that.
Right. So you just kind of chill out, let it wind down, and wait for the next one to go.
Yeah, I get the pretty girl. She comes back to the room. Then my erection fails. I'm like, oh, boy. There's always a letdown.
E-Rock texted me. He just writes Jericho. Does that mean anything to you? Why would
Hey,
he
Chris,
just...
he's a wrestler.
But why would he just write Jericho? Do you have a
He's
beef with him or
stupid.
something?
No,
like,
I
why,
got to be with Chris. Man, Chris.
why would he just write Jericho? Like he wants me to...
The answer is because E-Rock is stupid. That's why. He's
Does
a
that
dumb
mean
boy.
anything to you?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, I know Chris, and he's back on the show. But I mean, if he just writes
He just wrote Jericho.
I didn't know if there was a question about
Well,
Jericho.
that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
If you think if you're going to text someone that's live on the radio, all right, now he's writing something because now he heard me say that. Back when you were talking good on the mics. Oh. Yeah, Jericho.
Oh, me and Chris had
Jericho
some-
he was a good one, too. So,
Yeah, he's good on a stick. So we had a bunch of good back and forth, tossing beers and stuff like that. It's total. You go out there and you get a chance to ad lib with the guy because he's very quick on his feet and a fast thinker. So we had a lot of great times with some exchanges on the microphone.
Yeah, okay.
But whoever sent you that text more than fucking Jericho.
Exactly.
Well,
Stupid, Eric.
It's
give us a little direction here.
He's a bit vague at times.
Well, work with me, okay?
Yeah, he's
Come
a
on.
bit vague at times, and then it gets my attention because I'm wondering if there's a beef or something.
No beef.
Now it's my problem. He goes 20 minutes ago. Well, all right. I'm not checking my phone every second either. They're saying you got to go Stone Cold.
I ain't got to go. They're lying.
No, you guys be live next door.
Where with Sway?
Yeah.
Now
I'm boycotting.
we're not lying.
No. Somebody tried to throw me out of this fucking studio. Thank you guys very much.
Good seeing you, Steve.
So what?
Thanks, guys.
The plugs, real fast. What are the two shows again?
Okay, you got
Broken
Skull Challenge,
Yeah.
8/7 Central, 5 p.m. Pacific. It's the baddest, toughest athletes in the United States of America coming to my ranch to do battle. Only one can take on the Skull Buster, the toughest obstacle course in the United States of America. The other one is Redneck Island, 10/9 Central. 24 of the rowdiest kids we could round up from the South. It's Redneck Island. They party, they drink. I put them through challenges. Melissa Rycroft is my host, and it's an absolutely hoot if you like that kind of television, which I do.
All right.
Hasta la vista, baby.
All right, we'll see you next time, man.
Thanks, guys.
Stone
Later.
Cold Steve Austin, he rules.
And Zach is here.
Zach Wild's
You gotta
outside
bring him in.
studio, so now we'll just continue.
Forgot we keep going.
I'm hitting Zach in the head with a steel chair. He's been dodging me for 2 years.
You guys know each other, right? Good
Oh,
team.
yeah, absolutely. Good seeing you.
Take care, man. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, bro.
Yes, we'll
Appreciate
see you
it.
next time, buddy. All right, there goes Steve. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Looks like he could still fucking
Oh, I
wrestle,
wouldn't mess
too.
with him at all.
He rules. Where's Zach Wild?
He was all wound up.
I don't know.
Well, he's got the Red Bull. That Red Bull is dangerous. Dangerous shit.
Nope, he's in the green room. He's not waiting outside.
Well, then why?
Yeah, we would have kept. Well, actually, those.
No, he had to be. He had to be outside.
He really did have to go.
But I mean, why do we get this? Why would
go
we
get
just bring him
Zach?
down at 10:30?
That's all right. Well, listen. Did we figure out the podcast for Jim Breuer?
Jim Brewer's podcast.
I told you we were stealing it.
Wow.
We're going to air it, I think, tomorrow night.
Thursday night, 8 p.m. Sunday, 9 a.m.
Sick.
Sunday, 9 a.m. And it says Monday, 12 a.m.
Damn.
Monday, 12 a.m.
Men Detroit. That's
probably
late,
Sunday
late
night.
Yeah, that's a
Monday.
shitty time.
I don't
The
care.
other
I'll
two are
work on
nice,
that.
though.
But definitely Thursday night, 8 o'clock. That's a good time.
That's a hot one.
Yep.
That's a hot one. Brewers podcasting.
Now,
again,
so
and we
what
want to be a
happens?
part of
You
that.
do the first episode? Like,
I
how does
think,
that
I
work?
think all that's one episode. They're going to give it a few. I'm finding out. I'm getting all the
We'll figure
details
whatever.
out.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter.
We're just throwing this together.
Right.
We'll figure it out.
All right.
And we'll organize it better.
Awesome.
Do we have time to take a break? Where is he? What should we do?
They went to go get him in the green room.
Yeah, they
because-
should have.
All right.
We got the rolling text. Zach is here.
All right. At that point, maybe you start walking him down the hall. He's scheduled for 10:30.
Yeah,
so.
or you could just have them come in at the end. They know. Those guys always know each other.
I love when they, cross over like that. It's
I
fun.
do too. It's very interesting to see
fun.
People who know each other outside of
what they're doing.
Here, yeah.
All right.
So I don't know what Ron is doing.
There's nothing else we could really start if he's walking down the hall.
Well, very quickly, you guys were talking
But
about...
Trump's like sex. There you go. All right.
You guys were talking about concussions before. There's a big NFL story that broke that Ken Stabler's, they tested his brain and he had severe CTE. So it's another black eye for the NFL.
He's not black.
He's not
Black eye.
Oh, black
eye.
I thought you were being racist.
I was right behind you on that one. Fuck.
Yeah.
Another black guy.
Black eye.
When did Stabler die? When did the snake die?
He died in
I didn't know
July.
he died. I actually didn't know he died.
Yeah, he died of cancer last July.
Colon cancer.
Can't they test that while you're alive or no?
Colon cancer? Sure.
Have you guys brought up, I mean, the concussions before he walks in here real quick?
Yeah.
The whole, like the Oscars with like...
with the blacks?
Yeah, is there any... Are they totally not coming? Like, what's going on?
No, I don't think the boycott. The actors have mixed feelings about the boycott. I think some people kind of agree with it. Like, it's been a little shitty. Other people are like, look.
But is it an overall thing or just because someone's not nominated this year?
Overall, there's no nominees this year or last year for Best Actor, Best Actress. Like
who should have, though? Is there anyone legit?
I thought a couple. I thought there was a lot of good stuff about Straight Outta Compton. I thought the kid.
Oh, yeah.
The kid from Beasts of No Nation was really good.
Right.
So you might find, I didn't see all the other films, but I'm sure there's a couple of people that could have at least gotten a Best Supporting Actor or
Right,
something.
just some type of nod.
We had Cuba Gooding Jr. in here yesterday. He said it's gonna take a couple generations to balance out, get the right people as part of the academy. That's what he said.
So it's one of those like, listen, I'm sick and tired of the you-know-what's getting in this goddamn walking up there, hooting and hollering, playing that hip-hop nonsense every time to win a goddamn reward.
That's right.
Exactly. They don't know how to act civilized. They're asking for goddamn chicken wings, and I'm tired of it.
Oh, come on, man.
Zach Wild, what's up? You saw Breuer.
Man, where?
What's up, buddy?
Oh, no. Everybody's here in the house.
How are you, Zach?
What are you doing, brother?
How are you, man?
Hey, buddy.
What's up, Zach?
I wish I
on,
looked
buddy?
like him, man.
Huh?
I wish I looked like him. I couldn't even try.
Oh, you wouldn't. Your kids would leave the house.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, we can't pull that off.
I've just never seen Zach not look cool.
I go to PTA meetings like this. That's how we go, man.
Really?
Yeah. And then they kick me out.
No, are you like a really in touch with what's happening parent where you show up and you get involved and
Yeah, like when we're kids, J-Man and stuff like that, going to UCLA, I just go, is it okay if, Dad and the Uncle Jims come down to the, can we go down to Shadow Day? I go, Dad, that was when I was like 8, man. And I go, is it okay if we go down? Can we hang out? And then you go, I don't know who you are, and what are you doing in my house? They're not down with me.
they think you're cool, or are they embarrassed? Like, it's just my fucking dad, or they're like they know understand your impact.
No, they go, he's a lame piece of shit, but he's my father. But
you said about
cool. I mean, my kids are cool.
11, 12?
No, the Hendricks is 13. Sabat Page, he's 3. So
Okay.
and then you have Ray, our daughter. She's the oldest. She's 23, and then Jesse John Michael Ozzy's the godfather. He's 22.
Wow. Because I remember when we had. I remember you had one around 5 or 6.
Yeah, that was Hendrix. That was Hendrix. And he's 13 now. That's when we did that little the skit thing and all that stuff, the crapshoot thing.
And Jesse John Michael, obviously, he's named after Ozzy.
Yes.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, with the John Michael and everything like that. And that was a great day at the church that day. You know what I mean? So it was awesome. Because the whole thing is, being the fine Irish Catholic that I am, I was going down and I just go, this is an awesome way to get, people to go, kids to go to church. They go, dude.
Right.
Ozzy was at church the other day. Dude, Van Halen's coming in next week. And then after that, Led Zeppelin will be in next week. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, church is cool. Yeah, and then, because everyone would always ask me, they go, Zach, he goes, how does that work being with Ozzy and being Catholic? I go, oh, no, I mean, after a couple satanic rituals before the gig, and then after we do the gig, I mean, it is quite the balancing act, and then you convert back to Catholicism after the show. I said, yeah, it's quite the production. It's like, it's something that's like a Liza Minnelli change, you know what I mean? Just like a clothing change.
But it's funny, though, people, like, when they see what goes on behind the scenes, it's so like, you just, before the gig, you're just eating, grabbing something, having some tea. If you see Sabbath before they're like, oh, there's a cheese platter. Yeah. They're just like gentlemen.
But it's also a different time, too. Like, everyone's growing up now and families, so it's we can only do so much. I mean, God bless his soul, Father Lemmy. Trust me, it was still backstage at a Motorhead concert. It was still exactly the same as it was when he was 27 years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's not a cheese platter backstage at Motorhead.
Tons, along with the Jack Daniels and everything else that's going along with it. But
did you guys spend a lot of time together, you and Lemmy?
No, actually, I mean, obviously met Father Saint Lemmy now, but on the No More Tears tour, I mean, but him and Oz obviously knew each other from the 70s probably when Lemmy was doing Hawkwind and everything like that, they rolled together. So, no, we'd run into Lemmy, just having friends, like run into the bars, like when it would be like days off or something like that, Motorhead was staying near the same hotel, we'd run into Lemmy in the bar before the guys headed out or whatever. But no, I mean, how cool Lemmy was. And the one crazy thing about Lemmy, I mean, first off, nobody has a bad story about him, but Lemmy never got into brawls, like I'm talking about as far as handling his booze, never brawling with people, never doing dumb shit, ever. No, you know what I mean? Like, you never heard stories about whatever dumbass stuff, he was loaded or whatever, what I mean, ever.
Right.
And, because let me just be like, if anyone was wasted or whatever, even if they were in, it's like, dude, seriously, amateur night at the Apollo doesn't roll around me. You like either handle your booze or just leave.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Were you on the last motorboat?
Yeah, we did the last one with Lemmy, and then we played at Lemmy's his birthday bash.
Yeah,
that's right. After that. So, we did the Zach Sabbath thing, you know what I mean? And we had, Father Matt playing the drums. Yeah, we did Ferris Wear Boots. We did Little Wing because Lemmy dug Hendrix and stuff like that. So we did Little Wing and everything like that. But
I laughed at the Motorhead. I've seen them before, but to see them on the boat to me was one of the coolest things ever because it felt like I was in the 70s. But the funniest thing I saw was, if the set started at 8 o'clock, Lemmy would start, we fucking Motorhead, we play rock and roll. And then the guitarist would come in and he'd be like, hey, man, everyone have a great fucking boat. And Lemmy would go, all right, that's enough. And just start the next song. He cut him off like 2 or 3 times. I was howling in the back, and I didn't know if it was a shtick, but he seemed generally like, hey, does everyone make sure you're good? And Lemmy every single time would stare at him and go, all right, that's enough.
That's the best. The MC's just coming up going, well, listen, everyone make sure that you go out and buy those pamphlets that are out front because, it talks about rock and roll awareness. And shut the fuck up. I mean, it's just like, as you talk about that, I remember, the rock and roll awareness. I remember Vince Neil, God bless his soul, Father Castillo over there. I remember Randy, when we were doing No More Tears, it's just like, I guess Vince Neil was doing a thing for Rockers Against Drugs, right?
That's right.
Rockers Against Drugs. He goes, hey, this is Vince Neil, Motley Crue. And, I still party, but I party clean or whatever. Right? And then he takes off on his motorcycle that says Rockers Against Drugs. And Randy gets see it or whatever. Me and Randy are drinking a beer. Randy's like, he goes, Rockers Against Drugs. He goes, that's like Christians against Christ. Are you kidding me? It's just like, Dude, that's the best, man.
Yeah,
But, up and now I party clean. Like what? Is there a cookie puss after school? Like an ice cream party, like a party you have for your kids. You know, I mean, that's how I party now.
How are you doing it? Because you seem to be doing well.
Well, you know, I haven't had a cocktail in probably 7 years now, but I mean, it just doesn't stop me from the glue and the paint chips, man. Yeah. And the results are the same. I wake up in the morning with my pants around my ankles, and, you know, you guys could go, Zach, last night was friggin' awesome, dude. I'm telling you, man. But I have no recollection of anything. And I still can't feel my legs. So, but hey, I'm happy. That's all that matters.
You don't miss it, no?
No, just no, just, you know, I mean, put it this way. When the doctor, you know, he was just like, Zach, look, this is when I was 42. He just goes, look, he goes, I don't mean to be like Debbie Downer over here or anything like that. He goes, but, Zach, he goes, I mean, the side of the blood clots. I go, well, what happens if I keep drinking? He goes, well, if you drink the way you tell me you drink with the fellas, you know, a case and a half a day or 2 cases or whatever, and whatever, if you guys are going to go berserk in a bottle of Crown Royal or whatever, you know, between you goofballs, he goes, Zach, he goes, I mean, the blood thinners make your blood thin. And he goes, and then you're going to throw alcohol, which is a blood thinner as well, on top of it. He goes, dude, he goes, put it this way, I hope the Hooters you go on Monday Night Football is like a good Hooters, because he goes, you'll be pissing out blood out of your ass, your dick, your eyeballs. I mean, you'll just be bleeding out. He goes, so, and that's just, you know, make sure it's a good Hooters. But he goes, but yeah, but we've been doing your liver count, your pancreas count. He goes, Zach, he goes, I'm not telling you you're going to die next week or you're going to die a year from now or 2 years. He goes, this one I was 42. He just goes, but I'm telling you right now, before you're 45, you'll definitely have to have a liver transplant. And then he goes, and then the pancreas thing, behind door number 2, he goes, guys either die on the table, Zach, or 4 days later they can say goodbye to everybody. Or door number 3, you could just, as you're looking at me right now, you could just quit drinking and walk out of here, and you can continue listening to your Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath records and fist your prostate while you're listening to them, and, oh yeah, and hang out with your family and your dogs and all that other good crap you like doing. And I said, well, I definitely dig Zeppelin and Sabbath, and I definitely dig fisting my prostate. And I like hanging out with my family and the dogs. I go, yeah, I guess door number 3 ain't too bad. I got to go fist my ass now. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so I just went on a steady diet of fisting, and, you know.
How hard was it?
At first. Nothing. You just stop,
he needs
man.
to fist your ass.
I got to fist my ass. It's just, I went right to it right there.
You make it sound easy, but for a lot of people, it's not. It's not one of those. I just stopped.
You got it, dude. I mean, it is what it is. If I'm going to get you ready for, I'm your agent. I got you ready for this movie, and you got to have ripped Bruce Lee abs.
Nice.
And but you got 5 months to do it.
Yeah.
Then you just stop eating the junk food and everything, and then right after the movie, then I'll order you 15 pizzas, and, you know, we'll go to White Castle, and you can order, you know, 500 burgers. But just at least have a set of balls, dude, and just, you know, you got a job to do it.
So for you, it's basically, hey, I had to, so I did.
Yeah, what more is to be told?
But you have to surround yourself with anyone? Like anyone come and help out?
Everybody goes like this. They go, Zach, you're going to surround yourselves. They were like, well, maybe if you just swap out things, you know, replace it with something. You know, like maybe Zach, lift weights or something. I go, I already do that. And I go, actually, we'd bring beer to the gym. I'm not joking. It just like we'd bring beer, and like in between, you know, sets or whatever, we'd take a swig of Beck's or whatever bottled beer we brought with us to whatever gym we went to when we were on the road. Found a powerhouse, we'd go down there, and then I'd bring a gym bag loaded with beer for us. So we'd be drinking, you know, and obviously we keep it on the down low, but I mean, the whole thing is, yeah, we'd be drinking beer in between sets. So, I mean, the whole thing is, no, I'm not going to replace it with, I mean, put it this way, the only thing I've changed my life is the fisting is constantly continued. I was fisting myself while I was drinking, and now I'm not drinking. I'm still fisting the prostate and making sure I'm regular. But, I mean, the whole thing is, no, I haven't replaced it with anything. I still listen to Zeppelin. I still listen to Sabbath. I still like football. I still like hanging out with my friends. And the guys are just like, well, look at it this way, Zachy. Bro, it was a good run. 20-plus years, even more, we figure since we were 15 years old, till I was 42. And then, like, look at it this way, man. It was a good run. We won a couple Super Bowls. We went to 11 Pro Bowls.
Right.
And look at, it was a good career. But look at, we lost a drinking partner. But listen, We gained a designated driver. Asshole, we'll be at the Irish pub. Come pick us up in about maybe 6 hours. So that's the support system I have. So yeah, it's very very positive.
Good.
Very positive.
Good.
You know?
Yeah, you look good. You look healthy.
Yeah.
Oh, I felt healthy before too.
No,
you know
no.
what I mean?
You didn't look good.
well, I just I looked a little more mutant-esque, but I mean, I still feel fine.
Awesome.
Because everybody's like, "Oh, do you feel any different?" I'm like, "No, not really. I just don't have." I mean, put it this way: I never woke up with a hangover.
Jesus. Wow.
No, I just woke up with a nice glow on from where we were last night.
Right.
You
weren't a big puker.
Well, if we did puke, we'd puke and then
continue
out of our ass and then just keep going.
Like a Viking.
I'd set you up with another cocktail, and then just go, okay, cool. Yeah, like you'd go, you'd puke right there. I go, you done? You'd be like, yeah, I'm done. I go, what do you want? You're like, Zach, get me another Crown and Ginger. All right, no problem. Actually, while you were puking, I'd be ordering you another drink, and then we'd just put it there, and you'd like wipe your mouth, and you go, better. Okay. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's the way we rolled. I mean, it was just that. Put it this way, I remember the one Ozfest we were doing. I remember Barbara Ann called me up, the Immortal Beloved. She was, so we get word from high command. And she's like, I guess the credit card bill and the big drink. The only drinkers were basically maybe the 4 of us out of the 13 of us rolling, right? Right. We're the only ones that are the big boozers. I mean, the rest of the guys is steroids, Viagra, and whatever else they can get their hands on. You know what I mean? So the whole thing is, she was like, listen, I just got back from seeing the accountant, and the corporate card, the berserkers are shut down. I mean, it was animals. We're on double secret probation at that point. You know what I mean? If you don't put a lid on this zoo fraternity of yours, Carmine, I'll have your legs broken. You know what I mean? So I was like, well, how bad could it be? And she was like, I go, what, 10 grand? And she was like, are you joking? I go, 15 grand. I mean, mind you, we've been out for about 28 days. And I go, 20 grand. And there's dead silence on the other end of the phone from high command. And I just was like, 25? 30. I was like, come on. 35? 40?
Oh, my God.
And it was like $41,000 or something. 41,000
Just
change.
booze.
Just booze. But mind you, there was a couple, Ruth's Chris and Morton's in there that we'd hit. And then, I mean, that was usually maybe a $3,000 night or $2,000 night. I'm just saying between the booze, the steaks, and the rest of the fellas, you know what I mean? But,
that's a bill.
But but every day, pretty much, it was about almost a $1,200, $2,000 day. I'm just saying, us pulling up to a liquor store on the Ozfest, going into the liquor store and coming out with carts of just booze, of just Crown, vodka, Johnny Walker Blue, whatever the hell was, and it's just like, and obviously you're getting the good stuff. We're not going to chintz. We're not getting Schaefer in cans. You know what I mean? So it's just like, yeah, we're getting all bottled beer and everything like that. But it's just like, but yeah, it was something like 41 grand in like 28 days.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, it was good times. You know what I mean?
That's Vikings right there. Vikings.
What's the, I know you're promoting Book of Shadows, too. It's coming out April 8th. Anything else besides that?
No, well, we got that between cleaning the dog run and splitting the atom, which doesn't need to be split, but we've decided we're going to do it. But in between all this other crap and doing the laundry and the dishes and everything like that, I guess we got, we're going to be doing the Hendrix Experience Tour. I'm going back out on that again, which is always good. Oh, no.
Stone Cold. He said he's got a problem with
Father Steve is in the house.
This guy's been dodging me for 2 years. Why don't you return my phone calls?
Well, I was trying to set up Warrior Stone Cold for this WrestleMania coming up, but apparently that's not going to happen now.
Jesus Christ. You owe me a phone call. Now let's continue your interview.
Well, hold on. Why have you been trying to get a hold of him?
Me and Zach are really good friends, and he won't return my phone calls for some reason. We got heat.
I don't even have the number. You got to give me the number.
You want to stay? You stay.
I'll get it. No, I got to go to my next gig.
Oh, okay.
Wrap that guitar around your head. Take care. Good seeing you. Yeah, take care.
All right. Here, I'll get the number. I'll give it to Jim, and Jim can give it to you. Or give it to, if Barb's out there, you see anybody, give me the number.
Got it. Later.
All right. Okay. But, yeah. I mean, aside of that, just, getting ready to do the Hendrix Experience Tour, and I guess we start in May with, in London with because the album comes out April 8th. Actually, 2 years since on the same day as Catacombs of the Black Fat, the last album. So, which I can't believe was already 2 years.
Right.
But yeah, and then we were out rolling, and then I guess sometime around Christmas we're going to crank out another Black Label album. So we're doing festivals in 2017. So we probably pretty much got the next 3 years mapped out.
Wow. What
crazy.
The guy who plays guitar in my band coming out is on your crew. Do you know Metal Mike, Polish Mike?
Yeah. What's Metal Mike doing now?
Well, he's gonna. Hopefully, he's gonna come out and tour. I'm not gonna tour.
Was he going to be doing your
Yes.
gig? Yeah,
Yes.
Did you have the band and everything?
I finally got the band, all that jazz.
Very
Took
cool.
40 years, but I finally pulled it off.
Yeah, but you always had the band rolling with you.
Yes, and then stopped while, and then
So you're bringing it back.
Bringing it back.
That's good.
I had to do it the right way, though. I was gonna reach every. I was dying
You
to
can
reach
always
to
call
you,
me. Just,
dude. I was dying to
then,
reach
like
you.
Stone Cold, you know. He could just avoid the calls, you know what I'm saying? You throw that in there as well.
That's what I knew. You were like, I'll give it to Jimmy, and then
Jimmy will give it to Frank.
Jimmy will give it to Guy.
Frank will give it to my 3-year-old.
I don't think
Yeah,
Stone
no,
Cold's
no,
having
no,
any.
no.
Exactly. He's not getting the number.
I already have. It's funny. Zach always texts in all capital letters. It's like you never. I don't know it's your text. When I first.
Well, it's because half my buddies are blind now, you know what I mean? And they don't wear glasses, you know, so it's just like, yeah. Well, it looks like you're shouting all the time. I go, no. It's because you're blind and you can't read. All my buddies are like, read, and you know, with the little text, that's why I just write it in capitals all the time. Now you can read it, dude. You know
Smart.
What I mean? So,
what are you gonna play?
This is a song that I wrote while me and Barb. Well, some people call it making love. I call it battle in the Black Label Love Dojo. So you know, it's all about submission moves and everything like that. So and it's about pain. Which they say brings pleasure. But,
Yeah,
you know.
to some of us. I can't picture you being a big submissive.
Well, it depends. You know, I mean, when the fisting of the prostate and the fondling of the man root is good, and you just submit to the pleasure.
Oh, all right.
You know what I'm
all
saying?
right. All right. Zach might like a little something in his hiney. Good point.
Hey, at least I can check and make sure I'm regular. That's all that matters, man. But no, just these are just some tunes off the new record. I guess, you know, with the Book of Shadows thing, everybody always asks, you know, when we're rolling, they're just like, Zach, you ever going to pump out another one of those things? And I remember, once again, I was like 20 years ago. I mean, you know, when we did that crapshoot thing, that was like 10 years ago?
Way longer.
Even 11, 12 years ago, maybe?
At least.
Which is insane.
That's nuts.
How fast time flies. But I mean, well, I was just saying, even when Ozzy talks about certain things, like him or Robert Plant must go, 1972 really doesn't seem that long ago.
Oh, gosh.
I'm saying to those guys, you know what I mean?
Right.
Or Ozzy when he's talking about Randy, you know, with St. Rhodes or whatever. Like, that's 30 years ago. You know what I mean?
It's
And Ozzy's
crazy
just
to
like,
even
wow,
think about that.
I can't believe it's, you know, that long ago.
Yeah.
But, you know, but like for Ozzy, it's just like it doesn't seem that long ago. I mean, the same thing with my dad when, you know, he's a World War II vet and everything like that. I remember when my dad was 80, he was just like, I do not feel 80 years old. You know what I mean? He's just like, I can't, you know, it's just like crazy. But to him, like World War II was not that long ago.
Right.
You know what I mean? To him.
My dad used to say the same shit. He's like, I can't believe I'm 75. He was amazed by that. He goes, I don't feel it.
Yeah, no, because, I mean, I'm just saying, I mean, physically, you know what I mean? But mentally, you know, you feel,
Mentally,
you probably
you're
feel
there.
like he's 29 years old.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
His body's failed him, but his mind was still there.
Where-
And he didn't feel like he was that old.
Where was your dad?
Oh, well, Dad passed away. He passed away. Actually, when...
No, but where in World War II?
Oh, he was Omaha Beach, man. He was there.
Wow.
Yeah, D-Day, the whole 9 yards,
shit.
man. Yeah,
Holy
without
crap.
a doubt.
Did he talk about it? A lot of those guys just didn't talk about it at all. Was he comfortable?
No, my dad didn't really go into, like, you know, like killing Nazis and the whole nine. You know what I mean?
Same
I'm
with
just
mine.
saying that, like, yeah, I mean, but he said, you know, about talking about a bunch of his buddies getting their brains blown out and stuff like
Yeah.
that and legs blown off. But he was just like, well, yeah, it was what it was. He said, we'd be, like, getting... He said when they were jumping into the water and they were going half of them, he said, dude, we would just take our stuff off and just praying that we'd get onto land first off before getting shot.
Right.
And then screw it, man. I mean, I'll get some weapons off some dead guy if we make it out of here. You know what I mean? I'm not even worried. You know, they just dump their
think of that
backpacks and
mentality.
everything. Yeah, it's just like, dude, I'll get stuff when we get past this. You know what I mean? So it was just like
Crazy.
Yeah, but my dad said when after that was over, with him going into Auschwitz, he said when they were going in there with the tanks, he said all the roads were white, and they were like, man, what is this with the smokestacks and everything? You know, right near the concentration camps and everything like that when they were going down there. He said he was just, and as obviously all the ash from the bodies and everything like that. So, but after that, my dad said, he goes, and they were on a plane after that. And my dad, you know, he had a hearing aid and he had steel plate in his leg, right, in his shin, because he was under a tank shooting. One of his grenade went off, and obviously all the shrapnel went off and everything like that. My dad said he thought he was dead. You know, when he woke up, he was just like, obviously concussion from the grenade, and then all the shrapnel. That's the reason why he almost lost his leg and his you know, had the hearing aid, but which worked well with my mom, because the whole thing is, then he had selective hearing at that point. You know, I'm sorry, I didn't hear whatever you were asking for, you know, but no, he said one of his buddies died with him under the tank when they were shooting and stuff like that. So, but they didn't send him home. They just glued him back together and sent him back out again. And then he said when they were flying over they were getting stationed in Japan after that. After Germany surrendered and the whole 9 yards and it was over there, then they were on a plane getting ready, flying over to Japan to get stationed over there. And he said all the guys were going, man, when is this thing going to end, man? You know, because they've been over there over 4 years or whatever. And Dad was just like, then the pilot came back and he was like, dude, they just dropped some crazy ass bomb. It's over. You know, they didn't even know the name of the bomb. You know what I mean? That it was an atom bomb. They didn't even know the name of it. You know, because it was nobody talked. You know, it was all top secret stuff. So, but they just said they just dropped some crazy ass bomb. The Japanese surrendered.
And those guys, it's amazing when they talk about that stuff. Like those old school guys, they're
tough.
Just, when you ask them like, how was it to watch these people get killed? They're like, that's what it was. Like they just have a very quick way.
That's my dad.
Yeah,
he'd say, well, they shot at me, so I shot back. I'm like, okay. Did your dad? Did you do a military funeral?
Yeah. Like at that funeral and stuff like that. Yeah, the guys were there and stuff like that.
That's the thing that beat the shit out of me. Like when my dad went, I was fine. It was good. I was fine until the military comes in and
the old
flowing
guys.
the flag.
Well, they did, you know, all veterans.
Did you have some of the old guys?
You see them show up, and it's lights out. You're like,
done.
Oh yeah, dude, it's the fraternity of you know what I mean? For sure,
whole different beast.
Yeah,
when that happens.
80-year-old guys there for your dads. Like,
but it's the truth. I mean, with the World War II generation, because they said they've seen the most things. No, I mean, you know, from World War II to, you know, the first car, to World War II, to man going on the moon,
TVs.
the space shuttle, TVs, you know, of like the evolution of
everything,
life, of everything. Like they said they've actually seen the most of mankind.
Wow, the most change,
Yes, they've seen the World War II generation specifically has seen the most of mankind changing. You know what I mean? Of historical events.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, all the way down to, you know, World War II, you know, President Kennedy, the whole, you know, like all that stuff. And then Woodstock, you know, I mean, I'm saying like how everything's changing, you know what I mean? And then all the wars, you know, I mean, Korea, Vietnam, Desert Storm, I mean, you know.
The blacks.
The Twin Towers. So terrible. So terrible.
You know what I'm talking about.
The Mets winning a World Series, you know. You did better than my beloved Yankees this year, man. I had money on that with Jay Diesel.
They look good this year, though. I like that bird kid on the Yankees.
But once again, it all comes down to pitching, man.
And health. Stay healthy.
Do we have to wrap up? Sorry.
Well,
without pitching,
we sort of have to wrap up.
You don't need to show
or we can replay a lot
like
of this
playing
stuff.
in the NFL. If you don't have a top 8 quarterback in the NFL, you better have either the 85 Bears defense or the Ravens defense, or when LT was in his prime. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Because you're not going to win.
Who do you got in the Super Bowl?
Well, if we coach Denver, you got to go with pray that Peyton can. I mean, his arm strength is gone. No, I'm just saying between throwing short to guys, throwing over guys' heads, and you know how accurate he's been forever. Right. So I mean, so to see him like that, it's obviously it's not. It's like him having a 104-mile-an-hour fastball. Now he's throwing 87 miles an hour.
He's not going to get his ending.
No, but the whole. Well, put it this way: the D, we know how good the Denver D is.
Right.
But like even if you rush Cam. Captain America can't run. No, but Captain America can't run like Cam. So what I'm just saying is, if you rush Cam, obviously he can run. Yes, so I'm saying that's the problem there. And then the only thing I'm saying is, every time Denver gets the ball, the third down conversions are going to be huge. I'm just saying, like, hopefully, and just set it up for Peyton where it's just easy plays. I'm just saying.
They got to slow down
maybe
the game.
Just get John Witten on the team and just say, put him in a different jersey,
right.
have a different name on the back of the jersey, and just say it's Frank Anderson that snuck on it. He's not on the roster. I mean, we'll just say he's here, and it's John Witten. Because I'm just saying, with Witten, Tony Romo's throwing to him, and we have 10 guys on him, and he will catch that ball, when you need a 3rd and 5 or whatever. Right. So what I'm just saying is make those very easy throws and easy plays, and don't make these way downhill, and then he's got to throw in a triple coverage or whatever. I mean, I'm just saying, and you got to have a bit of a running game, just a slight running game. But I mean, otherwise, if it's 3 and out,
it's over.
This game could be 38-3 before halftime.
Yeah.
I say 27 points. I take Denver, and I'm Denver 27. That's my prediction. No one will listen to me. Denver will win by 27.
I'm calling a blowout.
Denver's going to win by 27.
27, yes.
Wait. I know you said you stopped drinking at 19. Wait, or maybe you've gotten into my glue and paint chip stash. No, but I mean,
they got to grind it out. They got to slow this fucking game down.
Well, I'm saying if me and you were coaching,
right,
we know exactly what we're talking about right now. And I think make the plays as simple as possible, like how the Giants played the Buffalo Bills.
Right.
And the Giants held on to the ball it's a 60-minute game. The Giants had the ball for 59 minutes and 18 seconds and still almost lost that game.
Pretty much, right.
If Father Scott would have kicked that field goal.
Pretty much.
But the whole thing is this. We can draw it on paper, but we need you guys to execute. We can draw the simple plays. But if Peyton's throwing underneath guys, and I mean, put it this way, that Seattle Super Bowl, after the safety, that's no big deal. It's no big deal because it might have been I thought the snap count was on. I thought you were yelling the snap count. That's why I snapped it. I didn't hear it. Right. You know what I mean? So, but as far as I'm saying, you guys get to the sidelines. We all go, all right, we spotted them 2 points. We get the ball now. We go down, and we score a touchdown. Peace has been restored in the kingdom. We're just, it's no big deal. So it's because everyone was like, oh, that was the collapse, right? I go, dude, it's 2 points, man. Right. And we get the ball back. Even if we score a field goal, we're winning 3-2. So, and I said, but you saw Peyton in that game. He was throwing underneath guys, over guys. I mean, and what I'm saying is we've seen him through the years. Yeah. I mean, we all know he's the minute he says he's done, he goes straight from there to Canton, Ohio. I mean, it's a Hall of Fame career. I mean, hands down. Of course, you're witnessing history, seeing one of the, and not only that, he changed the game. I'm saying with the audibles and everything like that.
Wait till this big win. Wait till this big 27-point victory.
Put it this way. I see Cam in there with this team. If they keep it together, they'll be around the next year and maybe the year after. Oh. So I mean, it would be kind if it would be great storybook ending if Peyton could squeeze this one out and just fade into the sunset and just go, good night, ladies and gentlemen, like Elway did, and just, like, I'm done and see you later to a Hall of Fame career.
Cam is going to get hurt. He's going to pull his, he's not going to want to. He's a little knee injury, maybe. He'll be fine the day after. And then it's going to be a 4-touchdown, but there's going to be a point extra. 27 points.
It's either that.
Are you going 27?
Or somebody puts a New York Met hat on Cam Newton. He looks at himself in the mirror, goes into bouts of depression, and doesn't even show up. It could happen.
We definitely want to get a song in before
we
we
have
get
to
out
wrap.
of here.
We're
Unfortunately,
actually we're gonna lose the channel. Do you want to play something? Because we want to.
Well, I mean, we promoted it, so I mean, we got it in there. I mean, you guys let me come on the show. I mean,
I would love to hear a song though, for real.
Okay, I can do it right now.
We'll squeeze it in. Book of Shadows 2, new solo record out April 8th. Zach Wilde. Yes, Zach Wilde. My God.
And that's what probably Cam Newton saying. That's the last thing you're going to take from me, Peyton, is the Super Bowl.
That is awesome.
So it's ZachWild.com and Zach Wild BLS on Twitter. And Book of Shadows 2 comes out April 8th, which is a second solo record. It's a follow-up, obviously, to the first one, which was 20 years ago. And there's going to be a tour supporting that. When does the Hendrix tribute start?
Oh, that's coming out, I think. We're actually doing this this cruise coming up right now. That's even before the Hendrix thing. I guess the
Axis one.
Yeah,
right?
the Axis cruise, man. So me and Daryl will be out on that one. So that'll be cool. It'll be going to people's cabins, making meals, filming their sessions in the Black Label Love Dojo. I do that as well on the side. Yeah, the music business isn't what it used to be. You know what I'm saying? you gotta do what you can. But listen, at the end of the day, it's all about the art. Right. But anyway, so yeah, we're doing the Axis cruise, and then after that, then it'll be the Hendrix thing. So yeah, just work, bro.
Okay.
So which is good.
And Stone Cold was promoting his show, which premieres tonight.
It's
I'll tell you right now.
Steve Austin's Broken Skull Challenge, Sundays at 8 on CMT.
Sundays at 8, and then Redneck Island, Thursdays at 10 on CMT.
Yes.
Judd Apatow was promoting Love, which is now on Netflix. And, it starts February what? February 19th. And Breuer, what are you promoting?
Gigs, and now
he's got the band back together.
That's right, I got the band. We got the guys back. And then the Metal and Me podcast is.
We're going to start running it on our channel. But the Wilbur Theater this Friday for Jim Breuer.
Yeah.
A couple tickets available. Maybe.
And then the Paramount. If you go to Paramount, I'm filming my first music video at the end of each show.
That's pretty cool.
Hot rocking.
And I got
Mike Dockin.
Louisville, Kentucky this weekend, and then my theater tour starts in the week after in Chicago, February 11th. So just go to jimnorton.com for all my shit.
Exciting times for Jim Norton. Zach Wild, thank you so fucking much.
Hey, guys,
man.
it's always great seeing you, man.
We can talk to you for hours.
Sky is a legend.
Yeah.
It's the way Metal Mike talks. This is my son Steele.
That's why every time when I come home from the road, they're like, Uncle Frank, did you bring us anything? Uncle Frank, it's Dad. And then not only that with Barb, it's just like, oh, Andy, that is me. Whatever, just keep going. Keep going.
Fuck, man. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah.